All right, y'all. So we should be back up and running. I gotta go live on all things. Need to add myself as a multi guest before this onto my other one so people can see the veteran awareness one. That way we have it. Let me see. Can I add suggested? Where is hold on. Well, we'll just leave it at that for now though. But this will be mostly like going over the different scenarios, I guess, with this whole big beautiful bill nonsense that's going on. We basically have to talk on the situations that a lot of these things are going to affect veterans in a it's going to affect people in an indirect way. Now, some people are going to get the direct full effect of, oh shit, you're going to have to deal with all these problems. You're going to have to deal with changes in financial issues and all that stuff. But it's going to affect people differently because most veterans and most people are not understanding what the issue is or what the causes are or the actual the actual losses that they're going to pertain to. So a lot of people, when they hear Medicaid, they hear Medicare, they don't really pay attention to it. But the important part that they need to figure out is that not all Medicare or Medicaid is called the same thing. Each state has a different representation or a different name for it. So your state may not call it straight up Medicare or Medicaid. It may be a program that is called differently within your state. So let's say you are using that as insurance, because most people, when they hear Medicaid, Medicare, is just like, oh, that's just that program. But they fail to realize that when the Affordable Care Act came into place, a lot of these things were distributed to their states. So each state got Medicare, except for those states that didn't expand and get Medicaid or Medicare expansion. There was like about, I think there's still 10, I think, because I believe Kansas was the last one that was about to change that. But then everybody else basically has some sort of Medicaid, except for those 10 states. Now, it'll be interesting to see because they were about to expand it, but now with the reduction, how that's going to work. So that's going to be interesting. But states called it and identified their Medicaid differently. It's not the same thing. Everybody thinks that it's the same Medicaid, Medicare, and that's all it goes by. No, your state may have it differently. Like California has it named differently. New York has it named differently. Each state that participated in this Medicaid or assisting people, whether it's old people, young people, veterans, whatever the case may be, they have it there. So it's that understanding and that lack of attention and lack of understanding that's going to get a lot of people in trouble. That's the part that we have that we're going to have issues with, is just that most people don't understand that some of the coverage that they are currently receiving is part of Medicaid. One of the biggest factors is for older veterans. Now, with this big, beautiful bill, there's this change on basically work requirements. Now, imagine this. You are already a disabled person, a person that needs assistance, a person that has disabilities, and now you are being told you have to work a certain amount of hours to receive the benefits that you already receiving benefits for. So for some, it's like, hey, we're going to make it that you have a work requirement. I was just like, okay, so we're going to have a work requirement. Let me answer. No, not everyone. So, question came in. Not everyone is considered disabled once they leave the service. That's a big misconception that a lot of people get to see and get to hear a lot. So, a lot of people like to take it as, oh, a lot of people are disabled. People get disabilities too easy. Some veterans get it that way. If that was the case, then why would it be that so many veterans are always mad at the VA for denying their claims? It was like, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, military service members get it so easy, they get their disability ratings and stuff like that. And then you can't have it then on the same side say, oh, all medical or all veterans are just giving the stuff away. Yet people need to go through the process of filing, getting it approved, getting the documentation, and getting actual disability and actually proving that you are disabled. So not ever. It's never veterans don't people that serve in the military do not automatically get disability rating. Yeah. And you have people like that. You have people that call veterans frauds for using it, or just like, oh, bro, these are benefits that I fucking sacrificed my time, blood, and sweat and my body to end up having at the end of the day because I got injured, or I was blown up, or I was shot at, or I had a traumatic incident, or I saw somebody in garrison pass away or something like. There's different instances for everybody, so it's basically, but it's always interesting to hear because you always have people like, you'll have people in Congress, you'll have people all over the country be like, oh my god, veterans get so much and this and that, and it was just like, we have to prove that we have these issues. A veteran cannot just say, hey, I have PTSD, and boom, you just start getting paid. That's not how that shit works. And I think that's a big misconception that a lot of people have throughout the country. A lot of people think that it's just like, oh, you served in the military, you automatically get a check. Fuck no. There's people that have been in the military and haven't gotten a check, a disability check, even though they are disabled. Now, there's different instances and different reasonings to it, but see, and then you have people that have that consideration that you think that veterans were receiving illegal money care. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that people keep on hearing. It was just like, oh my God, are the Democrats or these people were giving money to illegals? That's bullshit. It's been bullshit. It's been bullshit the whole time. The same way these illegals have been taking your jobs. The same way these illegals don't pay taxes, but you go to the IRS to get their tax information. You can't come up with all this stuff and keep on coming up with the stuff and not look into it. They took our jobs, they take our money, they take our benefits. There's no proof showing that money was given to illegal aliens from the VA. That was never proved. Never proved, never highlighted. It's just an easy way to say to get out. And yes, illegals do pay taxes. You should look that up. You should see how much money was considered to the undocumented paid towards the thing. Because there's a difference between being illegal, which is under the books and don't get anything, and then there's people that have ITN numbers. So all that money has been paid into it. None of that went to illegals from the veteran thing. What was done was ICE was actually paying the VA to process some of the paperwork. Now, the problem there was it was taking away from veterans completing the stuff. That's something that it was taken away from. And that's what most people don't do. The funniest thing is that most people seem to know so much or understand so much about supposedly these benefits that these illegals were getting, yet you've never been around an illegal. So you've never been around an undocumented person. You don't work around these people, yet somehow you know how much they make, how much they've been receiving, where they get it from, where they spend it from, and all the stuff. So it's interesting to me that you know so much about illegals, yet don't have them around you. If you got to ask questions as to what they do, then you've just been going off of what people have been telling you. So it's not even that you actually knew what the hell you were talking about. It was mostly you were going off of somebody else telling you, oh, illegals are doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that. But you can't prove it. There's no documentation. Yes, under the Biden administration, we had way too many people come into this country. Correct. Ain't nobody arguing that fact. Now, the fact that you're going to say that all of them are criminals, that's a bit exaggerating, because that would mean everybody that's come into this country in the past 4 years is a criminal. But most of these people are working fields. Most of these people are going to school. Most of these people send their kids to school. Most of these people put back into the economy, because if they're getting paid, even if they get paid under the books, you still got to buy stuff. You still got to buy food. You still got to buy clothing. You still probably paying car insurance because you driving somehow. So you can't tell me that all these illegal immigrants come in here and they take all your shit, but they don't put back into the country. It was just like, and then that's the thing. People will be like, oh my God, veterans are on the streets. Now, if y'all want to talk all this shit about veterans being on the streets, why is it that we can build fucking detention camps in a matter of weeks, but we haven't been able to do that with veterans? Anybody, anybody that has something against these illegals, right? So we have the money to put them in detention camps, but we don't have the money to build that same facilities for veterans. So that's what y'all trying to tell me. So y'all so concerned, y'all so concerned with the problem of immigration, right? That y'all were able to fulfill a fucking camp in swamp water in a swamp area, build that shit up within what, 2-3 weeks? Yet you've had homeless veterans this whole time. This whole time you've had homeless veterans. Yet I don't hear any fucking money getting, where's the billions of dollars going into making sure they housed? Look at that, 8 days. 8 days. You have all that stuff that could have been done. Yet somehow it's quiet on that front, right? It's quiet. It's quiet then when you start telling MAGA like the make sense shit that is just like, come on now. It was like, you want to talk about homeless veterans, you want to talk about illegal immigrants getting all this money and stuff like that. Funny that those places that actually give money to those immigrants are states that actually pay for it themselves. So it's not even your tax money paying for it. It's the tax money of whatever state has a sanctuary state. Because that's a provided state benefit. That is not a federal benefit. A sanctuary city is a sanctuary city, not a sanctuary state. The state is providing something that's not being provided by the federal government. That is being provided by the state. The same way when it comes to veterans, you have federal benefits, which is the compensation and all the stuff the VA provides. And then when you go to the state has even more. The state has more benefits. Some say, hey, you can send your dependents to school for free because you joined the military. Or some get loans, some get grants, some get property tax exemptions. But that's at the state level. It was just like, you know what I find interesting? That it's always the same people from the states that don't have fucking people that always say that their taxes was going to it. Yet those big state taxes are going to your state to fund your broke ass. Isn't that interesting? I was just like, you mad because the state, so let's say like the state of New York is putting money into the people that live in New York and taking care of those undocumented in New York, yet they're also paying for people in Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, all those states that don't make money. California and New York help fund them. But they also, even while funding and helping with federal taxes across the state, they also take care of their own state. It was just like, what people don't understand is there's a difference between illegals and then there's people seeking asylum. But for the light-minded, you don't know the difference. Because to you, anybody that looks brown or doesn't speak the language is illegal. That's the simplicity of it. For you to understand it, it's just like anybody that you see that looks brown and talks a different language to you is illegal. I was like, there's no changing that. I was just like, somehow y'all the only people in this country that can identify somebody without them having to identify themselves. Ain't that interesting? You're the only people that could just look at somebody and just be like, oh, he's illegal. Ain't that interesting? You're the only people that's able to do that. But you can't tell me who's part of the KKK. You can tell me what an illegal looks like, but you can't tell me what the KKK looks like. Ain't that interesting? Isn't that the level of perception that some people have is just so vast that you can tell me what an illegal looks like, but when you see somebody being racist, you can't tell them apart. There you have no idea. You have no recollection or no sort of knowledge to know what it is. It was just like you see somebody homeless in the street. Can you tell if they're a veteran or not? Because there's homeless people all over. All of them ain't veterans. Can you tell me the difference between a military homeless and a regular homeless? You can't tell me the difference there, right? But somehow you can tell me who an illegal person is. Shit, I could be walking down the street and you can look at me and you be like, oh, damn, he's illegal. What do you got to say to that? There you have no idea, right? There you don't know. Why? Because I speak good English. You must think, oh, he's probably American or he got his green card. That's the same thing. So you don't know the difference there. So anybody that's of color you classify as illegal, but then anybody that's racist, oh, they got freedom of speech. Isn't that an interesting view? Isn't that an interesting way to see it? So when it's on your accord, it's okay to be racist because it's freedom of speech. But then when somebody speaks against you, oh no, you can't talk to me like that. That's bad. Like, shut your bitch ass up. Like, I was just like, that's the funny of it. That's why I call it the mental gymnastics. It's just like people want to do these bullshit ass things. It's just like you can't tell anything to me apart. If you can't describe a certain thing that you so wholeheartedly know, then that's a problem because you're just full of shit. It was just like there's veterans out in the streets. It was just like some veterans choose to live off the grid. Some veterans don't want to be off the streets. Some of them fell into bad times. Some of them didn't have any money management skills, and some of them didn't have a plan when they got out of the military because the military doesn't provide you or give you a set guideline. You got people in the military that were in the military for so long, no matter if it was a short time or not. Some people basically get institutionalized. So you get institutionalized to learn and think of the process of, hey, this is how I do these things. This is how I go about this. This is how I do it. And then you get thrown out into the free world and it's just like, figure it the fuck out. And then you got people over here like, hey, man, get a job. You shouldn't be on the streets. I was just like, but he's a veteran. But I don't give a shit. He shouldn't be on the streets. What state was it that made it illegal to be homeless? Wasn't it Florida? I swear it was. Wasn't it Florida that was trying to pass legislation to say that being homeless was illegal? I was just like, how you gonna make that legal, but then you just built all this shit for detainees with no fucking problem? But then back to this big, beautiful bill, right? With this big, beautiful bill, like I said, getting and cutting Medicaid, right? Like I said, for a lot of veterans, the funny thing is, and the worst part about it is that it's going to be a lot of veterans that voted for this. Daisha, I know they could put them in homeless shelters and stuff like that. But hey, if you can build a whole detention camp in like 8 days and put those fucking same fucking buildings and all that shit without the cages and all those beds, and you can put them up in 8 days, that means you can house every single fucking veteran in every state if you choose to, just by taking a fraction of that fucking money. That's cool. The funny thing, look, you voted the way you voted, right? I don't give a shit. But don't try to circumvent the shit and be like, oh no. I'm doing this for the betterment of the country. I was just like, you ain't doing shit for the betterment of the country. What's up, meme? I'm just like, you ain't doing shit for the betterment of the country. Because the thing is the funny part about it, worst is those MAGA veterans is going to feel it even more, especially if they retired. Because the whole thing about this whole administration is that they've had a problem with veterans double dipping, or what they call double dipping. They don't want you to collect your fucking retirement check and disability. They don't want you to do both at the same time. They want to make it that you only receive one out of the two. Either you receive your retirement pay or you receive your disability pay. They want to make it so that you can't do both because they consider it double dipping. Now imagine having most of these people in Congress that never served a day in their life, never got deployed, never went through basic training, never did anything literally for veterans or with veterans, and trying to tell them that, hey, after 20 years of wear and tear on your body, you can retire, but you won't be able to collect disability even though we fucked up your body. It was just like, you read the big, beautiful bill. You know what's funny? I love when somebody says that, oh, I've read the whole bill and I never seen any of that. You notice how y'all didn't see anything from Project 2025, yet all this shit is happening? Y'all didn't see none of the Project 2025 either, right? But when you go and look back at it, it's like, damn, you can just start checking shit off the fucking board. Oh, it wasn't in there. We didn't see that. It was just like, it's the same shit y'all keep saying. It was just like, but it keeps on coming up in different fucking bills and different propositions that it still comes up, not in the main shit, but then it just keeps on populating, and all of a sudden you have Project 2025, the blueprint going straight through, but somehow, oh, I didn't read that in there. I didn't see that. I didn't even know there was a Project 2025. That's how dumb y'all sound. That's how dumb y'all sound. Because the shit was all in there. People have been proving it and showing it's in 2025. They've been showing and proposing the stuff, and all they've been doing is slowly chipping away at it. Chipping away at it. You can read the bill. Tell me, the same ones that are telling me, oh, I didn't see that in the bill, are the same ones that believe that they weren't going to cut Medicare or Medicaid, right? You're the same ones. You're the same people, right? Those same people. The ones that, remember, you were the one saying that no Medicaid, no Medicare was going to be cut, right? Yeah, you're the same ones. You're the same ones that believe that. Awfully quiet on that note, right? Awfully quiet how that was in the bill. That was in this bill, right? You didn't read that part, did you? That's one of the parts in the bill that they just happened to look over, right? That's not the part of Project 2025. that part they skipped. They just looked over that part. The no cutting of Medicaid, no cutting of this. It was just like, oh, we're gutting. Yo, we are taking away money from illegals because they don't pay taxes, yet I'm going to the IRS to find out their information to be able to track them down. If they don't pay taxes, why are you going to the IRS to find them? That's the same stupid shit y'all fell for too. Ain't that funny? Y'all didn't read that part either, huh? Y'all didn't listen to that? I was just like, you can keep on coming up with all the shit that y'all somehow don't know or ignorant towards, but it's been being said since the get-go. Like, people have been, you know how crazy it is that people were talking about Project 2025 months before the fucking election, and then even then, y'all still said it wasn't real? Still said it wasn't real. Shit, even till this day, y'all still saying that 2025 isn't real. Y'all still saying Project 2025 isn't real. It was just like they've been talking about, remember how he had nothing to do with it? Donald Trump said he had nothing to do with it, didn't know who the people were, but he hired every single one of them, and most of the people that wrote the fucking shit are in his cabinet. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? I was just like, how you go down to, how you made a checklist, you checking it twice, and you're just crossing shit out that you completed, but you be like, nah, I ain't know about this shit. I have nothing to do with it. And it's easy for him because Donald Trump, for everything you ask him, I ain't hear about that. I didn't know about that. That man is denying anything possible that he's heard just to try to be like, yo, I ain't connected to none of this shit. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I signed it. I didn't make it. I just signed it. That's going to be his excuse. When shit hits the fan, it's just about, look, I just signed it. I was just like, oh my God, was the Roosevelt Hotel, New York, used to house migrants? Yes, and those were called asylum seekers. Those were people that were here through asylum. So those people that were actually being housed in those hotels were actually people that were documented and went through the system. So the people that you are claiming causing these issues are not even the people you are identifying. So these people were actually people that helped us in Afghanistan, us military people that helped us when people deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, mostly Afghanistan with this last wave, and we had to evacuate them. How do I know? Because I was part of the group in Germany that I was managing that operation of helping send people to Germany and making sure they had food, water, clothing. We had soldiers watching over them. We had female soldiers that had to be there to interact with the women because the women would not speak to the men. And it was just like, this was all happening. And these are people from Afghanistan that were moved out of their country for political asylum. And they were moved and they were sent all across. Because you know why? That would mean that those people that were receiving that came through a port of entry, meaning that they were documented when they came in. So the stupidity and the fallacy to believe that, oh, these people were just illegal and receiving this money is how dumb you sound. That's what it is. That's how dumb you sound. They were never, they never used it for illegals. It was for political asylum. It was for refugees, people that came through ports of entry, people that were documented when they came through the process. None of those people in New York came through the fucking border. So you or what? New York City decided to fucking, once they crossed through Texas, New York City said, you know what? We gonna pay for a flight. We gonna pay for your hotel. We gonna pay for everybody. We don't know who the fuck you are because you undocumented and you didn't fill no paperwork out, but we got the money to fucking house you. How dumb do y'all sound? Like, how dumb does that sound? You mean to tell me that somebody crossed the border in fucking in Texas, right? And New York said, you know what? I'll grab that dude. Hey, you're that family? I got him. I'll pay for him. No. It was just like the vets. Everybody wants to say, look, I don't want to hear shit about vets and migrants in the same situation. Why? Because this isn't Donald Trump's first administration. This isn't Donald Trump's first time around this. We had homeless people on there before. Had homeless people out there before. He had homeless people before in his last administration. They had the money to build those fucking detention camps. It was just like, it's funny how some people have the inability to comprehend certain small, minute details that changes everything. Do you mean the Obama cages? It's like, what's the difference between these cages and those cages? How many people did you hear were mistreated in those cages? How many people did you hear were going sick? How many people did you hear were not getting food? How many people did you not hear get due process that were locked up? Imagine that they were locked up because they were actually criminals or breaking the law and they were in things. So it was just like, so I'm guessing you feel bad for prisons also because they're in cages too, right? Or is that a different type of cage? Different kind of cage or no? That's not the same thing, putting them in prison? Not the same thing, I guess. I guess it's different. Maybe it's different. It was just like, y'all really gonna believe that Texas decided to take their own money and bus people to Democratic states? Are you serious right now? Are y'all serious right now? That's what y'all assuming. That's what y'all implying. That you literally had blue states decided to say, yes, we're going to accept all these people. And all the Republican states was like, no. even though they get funding for it. And all the Republicans said no. That's the belief. Because the thing is if you cross the border and you didn't get stopped, that's what made you undocumented. But if you got stopped and you got processed, that didn't make you undocumented. So it's the inability for MAGA and Republicans to understand that if you are in the system, you are not undocumented. Like, I don't understand, like, what's so difficult to understand that? You came in through a port of entry, meaning that you came in through a legal location, legal, viable way of entering the country. So you entered the country that way. It wasn't that you snuck over the thing. You went through a port of entry, so you are documented. You are known to be within the country. It's the ones that didn't go through that process. Those don't get benefits because you can't receive benefits unless you're in the system. That's like saying you could get a driver's license without ever going to the DMV. How? You got to prove who you are. You got to prove you got a place of residence. You got a place like how do y'all not fucking understand that? Like, how is it so difficult for MAGA to fucking understand that? It was just like, how you getting benefits if you've never been recorded in the fucking system? That shit just makes no sense. They went, you know what? Illegals went to a fucking realtor and bought a fucking house with no documentation, no proof of anything, and they bought the house, right? The same way they did it with buying a car, because they paid straight cash, right? Straight cash? That's what I'm assuming. They came in and paid straight cash after coming straight over the border, because they had thousands of dollars just sitting when they crossed the fucking border, and then they decided to just buy the house. Please tell me. Somebody please explain this to me. Please tell me. Somebody from MAGA. He said, "Oh, you mad because you can't get free handouts?" My man, do you think that if I was getting free handouts, I'd be streaming from a camera like this? Bro, how many cracks you probably still got on your phone? You the one clocking me. Shit. It shouldn't be hard to get a handout, right? Because anybody could get them. I should be able to go and get a handout now, right? I don't got to show no documentation, right? The same way y'all said that they were fucking going out and voting in droves, right? Y'all were going... These illegals are going out in droves to vote, right? But they didn't have no documentation to prove who they were. Yet they didn't have documentation to prove when they bought a vehicle. Didn't have documentation to prove how to get SNAP benefits. Didn't have documentation to prove they had Medicare or Medicaid. So please tell me, because if it's that fucking easy, why the fuck should I be paying for fucking health insurance when I could just go and lie? Right? I should just be able to go and show up to the hospital and be like, look, I got Medicaid, cover me. Right? Please, MAGA, advise, tell the rest of the Democrats, because I guess everybody else besides y'all, we the only ones paying for healthcare, I guess, because y'all able to get this shit. Because please tell me, please advise me, let me know how to save some money by not going and just getting these benefits. Because if that's the case, why ain't y'all getting them? If it's so easy for illegals to get, why can't you? They don't got no papers. They're illegal. Why can't you do the shit? Please tell me. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny how y'all can't explain that. It'd be like, I don't get no handout. If it's so fucking easy to get fucking paperwork and, yo, you know how nice it would be to live in New York City and get $3,000 a month in checks? Fuck am I doing here? Fuck am I wasting my time for? I need to go back to New York City. I need to move back home. I'm originally from New York City. But you mean to tell me I could show up, y'all gonna house me in a hotel and give me $3,000 and all I gotta say is I'm undocumented? Stop it. like, like, yo, you have to like break that down and then actually think about it to be like, damn, that's so fucking stupid shit for somebody to fucking believe. You gotta be like, that's how dumb you gotta be to believe that shit. It just is like these people get all this shit for free. Then why ain't you getting it? Because if they can fucking lie about it, if they can say they don't got no papers and they can get all this money, why haven't you done the same? Why hasn't them? So then you mean to tell me out of everybody, nobody thought, yo, we can scheme this shit. We could just go to fucking Medicaid and just go to the fucking doctor for free and just be like, we don't got nothing. See how that sounds? You see how that sounds? You see how that sounds? Oh, my bad. 3K a month and a Mazda and a hotel stay, bro. What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck would I? You think I'd be here on TikTok with y'all if that was the case? I'd be in New York City living it up with fucking $3,000 staying in a hotel. I'd be streaming from that shit every single fucking day. Making extra money. How you go from like it's the same shit that people were saying about voter fraud. It was just like look, Texas was complaining so much about it, and it was a Republican representative that explained that in the state of Texas, since I think it was like 2015, that there was only 4 instances of voter fraud found. That was a representative from Texas explaining and trying to understand, like, yo, why y'all trying to put all these restrictions and waste all this time on this shit when it's only been 4 people that have been found to be considered doing fraud when it came to voter fraud. Yet those 4 votes didn't fucking influence the fucking vote, did they? Bro, the crime rate, you know what's crazy? The crime rate was so crazy when it came to these gangs that was terrorizing the shit that all of a sudden they stopped. Yet you couldn't find the information of when they started. The fuck? These people were so fucking terrible, but you can't tell me when they started being so fucking terrible. That all of a sudden these gangs were so fucking terrible before that all of a sudden they just fucking disappeared. Donald Trump had them so scared. Shut the fuck up. You think the cartels cared? You think the cartels have stopped? You think the drug dealers have stopped? Nah, I ain't no just CNN and MSNBC. I don't listen. I pay attention to all of them so I can see which one of them is lying because they all of them always, and that's the thing, that's the funny thing about people when it comes to like, oh, you listen to this media, you listen to that media. And it was just like, no, I actually look at the bills. Because remember, through the media, Republicans all said, remember, most of those Republican senators and representatives said, we are not going to vote on cutting Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security. We are not going to do that. We are going to vote, and we are not going to vote against it. Funny how damn near every single fucking representative that is Republican voted for those cuts. Yet they told their constituents they weren't going to. Remember, a lot of these red states, they had their constituents tell their representatives, yo, we don't want you to vote for this. This is going to hurt me. I'm going to lose benefits. I'm going to lose health care. I'm going to lose this. And what did the Republicans do? Fuck them. We going to vote for this shit anyway. Fuck you going to do to me? I get paid this salary for life. Fuck you going to do to me? Even after I get out, after you vote me out, I'm still going to be making my money. I'm still going to have my health care. I'm still going to be able to take care of myself. Yet you still going to be worrying about this shit. You still got to find fucking health insurance now. Shit, now you got to find a way to cover what Medicaid won't cover. What you gonna tell those people? I was just like, who was cheating the system so much that you know what's crazy? This is where I see like critical thinking and critical analysis comes into place. How much money did Doge find was fraudulent in Social Security? How much money did Doge find was fraud, waste, and abuse in Medicare, Medicaid? He said $18. It said $18. He funny here. They were just like, so you mean to tell me that you had Elon Musk go through these systems, right? Go through these systems without our permission. Remember, because nobody gave him permission. He just decided, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to find fraud, waste, and abuse in all these departments, right? How much was reported to be found of fraud, waste, and abuse in Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare? Because it wasn't no 900 million last I checked. That's how much your money you're cutting from these programs. 900 million, right? Was there $900 million worth of fraud, waste, and abuse within those programs that's how much you decided to cut? Because I understand if there was fraud, waste, and abuse of a rate of 900 million, and then you'd be like, you know what, we're going to cut that fucking back. Because that is fraud, waste, and abuse. But mind you, you had people go into these departments, go into these services, audit them, go through and do whatever the fuck they did, yet somehow you can't tell me you found $900 million worth of fucking fraud. So how is it that there was $900 million cut from these services, yet you wanted to blame it on illegals using these services, yet you couldn't prove that? What's up, Annette? It was just like, it's just interesting to me because the thing is you're making all these cuts. You talking about fraud. Look, put it like this. This is the part that I find even more interesting when it comes to talking to Republicans and stuff like that, right? It was just like, y'all backed Elon Musk so fucking hard that y'all didn't give a fuck what this man got into as long as he found fraud, waste, and abuse and got rid of it. Yet this same man was the man complaining about this bill getting fucking passed because of all the fucking opposite shit that what he was trying to do is basically being ignored, that the man said, I'm gonna make my own fucking political party. You know how crazy that is? That this man went in to find fraud, waste, and fucking abuse, and then he calls out the politicians to tell them, yo, bro, what y'all doing is fraud, waste, and abuse, and now y'all want to attack him. So which one is it? Because the man that was out to find fraud, waste, and abuse basically just said, this is fraud, waste, and abuse, and now y'all kicking him to the curb. So literally, y'all made this man find money that wasn't fraudulent, because what was the ending number? Did anybody ever get an ending number for how much they saved? Because I don't think anybody ever got a number of how much money was saved by Elon Musk. Did anybody? Did anybody ever get how much we totally saved from him and where it was? Because it's crazy. I was just like, we didn't save no money, but you had to cut 900 million from these departments. So you didn't get a funding. You didn't get any money that you actually saved. Then you make a bill that adds to the deficit. You make a bill that reduces government agencies and reduces government benefits to people in this country. Is it an overwhelming number? No. But 17 million people in a country of 300 something is still a lot of fucking people. What people don't understand about this is that what people don't understand is just like right now, it's 17 million people. This is the part that people don't fucking understand. Right now, it is 17 million people. That's by census numbers. That's by taking the ages. Everybody keeps getting fucking old. Everybody ages. You haven't hit that Medicaid, Medicare demographic yet, but you're going to make it there. You're going to make it there. When your ass is old and can't work, your ass is going to be there collecting that. You're going to be collecting it. You would be getting assistance from Medicaid and Medicare when you're older, ain't got a job, and you got a supplement to be able to be seen by the doctor because your primary insurance don't cover it no more. So right now, you ain't worrying about it. So you're like, oh, fuck it. We'll just get rid of Medicaid. We don't need that shit. I ain't using it. But then what's going to happen when you age another 10, 15 years? What's going to happen then? What is it that you're going to realize then? Like, oh, shit. Now I could have fucking benefited from Medicaid. That could have fucking taken a little bit off of what I got to pay in the future. No, now you're going to pay more premiums. Now you're going to pay more for your health insurance. Now it's going to be even more to go get seen by the fucking doctor because that regular coverage that you know those visits you used to get through Medicaid, Medicare. Nah, we ain't doing all that shit. You got to copay, bitch. You're going to copay that. Can the next administration roll it back? Yes. But we'll see. Because that's the other thing about this bill that most people don't understand. A lot of this stuff doesn't happen right now. Oh, yeah, it's going to cost the United States more on the back end. Because the thing is look at the people now. Imagine making a work requirement now for people that are over 60 something, talk about you need to work a certain amount of hours. You can't afford it. MAGA doesn't want you to afford those necessities. Or the thing is MAGA doesn't believe that these necessities are necessary right now because they don't use them. If you in your 20s, you ain't worried about Medicaid, Medicare. You ain't using that shit. You paying for your own insurance. So a lot of the attitudes from those people, man, fuck those old people. They old already. They live their lives. I don't give a shit. That's how a lot of them see it. It was just like, I ain't paying for this shit. I ain't using it. The problem that we have with society right now is it's become it ain't benefiting me, so I don't give a fuck about it. Oh, everything is gonna go. What people fail to realize is everything is gonna go up. Tariffs are still kicking in. Prices are still kicking in. Imagine the fact that prices still went up even after the tariffs are paused. Make that make sense. How prices went up if the tariffs weren't even there? I was like, you put a pause on them. So why are you raising prices if the tariffs ain't even there? But nobody paid attention to that part, right? No? Okay. Maybe that was just me. Maybe that was just me that saw that. Maybe. I guess. Prices still going up even though tariffs are paused. Ain't that wild? That's crazy. That's crazy. Doge saved less than 1% of what they claimed, yet you had to cut all these benefits because they were supposedly fraud, waste, and abuse. It was just like, that's the thing with this administration right now. The things they do contradict themselves, but when you have people that don't have any thought process, any fucking thinking ability, they don't add 1 + 1. Because if you mean to tell me that it got audited and it didn't find any fraud, waste, and abuse, but then you telling me that illegals were making so much fraud, waste, and abuse that you had to cut fucking $900 million from the services, the math ain't mathing. The math just ain't mathing. It don't matter how much you decided to cut. If you can't tell me and show me where it was that these illegals or all this money or whatever money you lost from fraud, waste, and abuse is highlighted, and that's what you're trying to make sure to remove, then that's fine. But Doge did the same thing. That's what Elon Musk was hired for, right? Now all of a sudden, what happened to Doge? You haven't heard about Doge no more. Once Rocket Man and Orange Man had that little scuffle, now you don't hear about Doge no more. Now we don't talk about savings no more, right? Now we talk about this big, beautiful bill that the person that was talking about savings said, nah. I was just like, but people don't pay attention to that, right? People just make that quiet. Those are the instances that it goes to, and that's why it's just like the biggest thing is that Medicaid thing is just like most people don't realize that they use it. Most people don't know the fucking name of their Medicaid in their state, and that is the problem. And that is the biggest issue for older veterans, because all these older veterans, because this is where people fail to realize when it comes to veterans, because that's my biggest concern and it bothers me the most. My man said, "You mean the bill that has savings accounts for kids? Oh my God, you getting $1,000 if you have a kid before 2029. Imagine that, $1,000. Damn, you rolling in the dough. $1,000? I thought you was getting five from fucking Doge. So you mean to tell me you went from getting $1,000 to having a kid, but they told you was gonna get a $5,000 check? Damn, bro, they getting your ass, and you hype about that? That's what you hype about? You hype about that $1,000 even though they had told you it was 5,000? Shit, wasn't it 5,000 to have a kid also that they were talking about? So you mean to tell me you're gonna get a whole 1,000 that's probably gonna be taxed also for a savings account, right? Yet you were supposed to get $5,000 if you had a kid. Remember, that was the incentive, because that's what he said: $5,000 if you had a kid, and then $5,000 from Doge, and then $1,000 from a savings account. That sounds like $11,000 for my kid. Now, if that was the case, I wouldn't be fucking mad. But my kid ain't getting 11,000. Shit. These billionaires and these rich people are getting more than that in the tax break they just got. It was just like, so you getting $1,000 and you hype about it, a savings account of $1,000. Yeah, you were told you were gonna get 5,000 because of all this fraud, waste, and abuse, right? I was just like, hold on, put it like this. Let me put this into perspective for MAGA and Republicans that don't understand shit, right? It was just like, if you were cutting $900 million just from those departments, why ain't we getting a check from that? It's my tax money, right? I pay taxes for it. It's fraud, waste, and abuse, right? $900 million, right? Where's my check? Why ain't I getting money back? Why ain't I getting money back? There's $900 million getting cut from these departments, right? Why ain't I getting some money back? Republicans, MAGA, since y'all so fucking intelligent when it comes to budgetary fucking issues, our taxes are increasing. You're saving money, yet we ain't getting nothing back. Ain't that crazy? No, because the thing is Daisha, it didn't go to those detention camps, because those detention camps are being operated and funded by prisons. So that's not even taxpayer money. That's why that shit went up so fast. Because there was a private entity that's going to make money for each person that they have paying to get that shit done in 8 days. That was the private sector that did that. The private sector paid for those detention camps. So where the fuck is my money? Doge saved so much. Remember, they promised everybody some money back because of all the fucking... Put it like this. Imagine the fact that it was already shown that illegals or undocumented brought $96 billion into the economy. $96 billion. Oh, we know who's paying the private sector. But where's my money at? Where's my money? Where's any kind of money? Where's the savings for anything? It was just like, it's the same thing with the VA. Oh, we saved so much money because we cut all these things and we're going to invest it in programs. Where's the programs at? Where's the money at? You saving 900. People don't ask the right questions. That's the thing. People don't ask the right questions. People are just happy with just like, oh my God, we're saving money. We're run us on. Run us on. Where my money at? What's up, Cindy? Where my money at? That's all we saying. That's what everybody doing in their head right now. That's what everybody doing in their head. I was just like, come on now. I was like, you saved 900 million. You're going to build a fucking golden dome. Like, bro, just tell me, look, put it like this. Just make it simple and tell me you're going to take extra money to put it into the contracting of the military complex, and you're going to build a fucking golden dome. Clearly, you see that the golden dome couldn't do shit in Israel. And Israel don't got the size we do. So how much fucking money are you planning to spend on a golden dome for the whole fucking United States? Most people don't understand how massive this fucking country is unless you've driven across it. I was just like, the one in Israel was getting gone. You saw what was happening in Israel, and then they were just like, oh shit, we need help. That's what happened in that situation. Israel said, you know what, we gonna bomb these people, and then they bombed them back, and was like, oh shit, they actually can hit us. Now, hey bro, US, yo, big bro, big bro, they fucking me up. They fucking me up, big bro. Let's go. That's exactly how that shit was. That's exactly how that went. Israel said, you know what, we fucking with these people. Iran went, I'm fucking with you back. And oh shit, yo, bro, he hit back. Bro, they got hands. They got hands. Yo, I need to call Big Brother. Yeah, bro. Handle my light work, bro. I was just like, it's a lot of space to cover. That dome ain't gonna work. That's just bullshit to just fund money into a fucking project that is gonna take forever. If you notice, most projects, even when it comes to just building a fucking, like, let's say you have a new bridge or a road that has to be done on your fucking, in your city. That's just more money that gets funded into it. Because remember, they paid already what was gonna be paid. It was just like, oh, we ran into, issues. The dome doesn't want to turn on. It looked at the missile and it thought about firing itself, but then it said, nah, I'm tired. Yeah, this ain't working today. And we're going to keep paying millions and billions of dollars to just keep on refunding it, funding it some more, put some more money into it, and just like, come on, where's my fucking money at? Where's my money? I was promised $5,000, y'all. Most people were promised $5,000. It was $5,000 to have a kid. It's $1,000 savings if you have a kid. Mind you, it's going to cost you way more than that. Plus, remember, if you're already a person that is needing assistance, remember, they're cutting those assistance programs. So you having a kid, it's going to cost you more now because a lot of the stuff isn't going to be funded for you to be able to take care of. A lot of the stuff you're going to have to pay out of pocket for. So now having a kid is going to cost even more because if insurance premiums go up, that means hospital prices go up, meaning you're going to be more in debt having a kid than that fucking supposed $1,000 is going to do to fucking help you have a kid because it's going to be $1,000 savings account. How much money you going to make? Because I know most of y'all ain't going to even put it into a high yield savings where y'all could get 4 to 5%. Y'all going to put it in that 0.01% fucking bank and earn like what? $10 a year on your kid and be like, yo, I'm raking right now. I'm raking it. My kid is going to Harvard with this money. Like, no, the fuck he's not. That's the thing that people don't understand. Danny, people don't understand that. People don't understand that $1,000 ain't gonna mean shit. It ain't gonna go nowhere because most of those people that get that $1,000 is gonna take that $1,000 just to make sure to be able to take care of that kid. They ain't gonna be able to save it. They ain't gonna be able to save that shit. They gotta find different ways. It was just like these programs are there to protect people from that. but you taking those away. Those simple things like Medicare, Medicaid, and like I said, for most states, they are not called that. They are called something else. So a lot of people don't even realize they're about to lose on one of the benefits that they probably use under a different name. It's going to be something different. It's not going to be like, I forget, I seen somebody post it. Appreciate all the gifts, y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's just like, you see all the names. It's just like, I think in Kansas, I think it's like ICANN. In New York, it's New York Health System or some shit like that. California has a different name. Each state that has it is a different named entity. Some of them kept it named as Medicare, Medicaid. Some of them made it their state thing. Because remember, when the Affordable Care Act was put, the states can create their own marketplace. And within those marketplaces, what they did was they just consolidated everything, but they put it under one umbrella, under one name. Once you have that, then it's basically understood. But if people don't understand that, it was just like, you can't get that fixed. You need to be able to assist people. 17 million people right now are going to lose health care. That's not counting the rest of the population that hasn't hit those ages. Once all these seniors start becoming seniors, they fall under seniors. Now they won't have that health care. Shit. Donald Trump is a senior. Donald Trump can't even get Medicaid or Medicare anymore. Oh, he's going to get his lesson, but as a representative, you get free health care. You don't pay for your health care. You get top of the line fucking doctors. Or better yet, you can be a Florida representative and basically break the law by getting an abortion done in your state, even though it's against the law to get an abortion done in your state. To the point where you had to call the governor, for the governor to call the hospital to tell the hospital it would be okay and be no repercussions for said representative if they did that abortion. But it's illegal across the state. Appreciate that, Collins. I was just like, that's the part that people fail to realize right there. That's the stay quiet on that, huh? Said my man said I like an intro before I have to listen. Bro, you've been listening, so you got past the intro time. It's like you made it past the intro. That's the other part that people fail to realize. It's just like the supplementation for hospitals goes into effect. Because the thing is that's not a cost that's basically associated with Medicaid, because Medicaid most of the time will cover whatever goes to the hospital, and the hospital will be like, hey, this person was on the Medicaid, that's how we get paid. If you get Medicaid taken off, you are going to have an influx of people going to the emergency room and a lot of people not paying the emergency room bills. Because remember, a fucking ambulance ride, you might as well be in a fucking Uber to save yourself some money before you jump in a fucking ambulance. Before you call 911, you better off calling a fucking Uber or a taxi to save your ass some money before going to the emergency room. No, nobody from MAGA's coming up. Nobody's even requesting up. I have no request from MAGA. What are they gonna say? There's nothing for them to explain right now that makes any sense that's beneficial to this country. It was just like, you got stuff that's being stripped away. You got stuff that's being taken away. You got stuff that's supposedly saving the American people money, but what money is being saved? Because the money supposedly was being saved was found by Doge. Yet we were supposed to get money from Doge. Yet Doge now just fell off the map, and now they just trying to make it like Elon is the fucking evil doctor on the side. It was like, don't listen to that guy. Even though that guy was making sure that all these Republicans had an excuse to fucking say that there was waste, fraud, and abuse. Because it was fraud, waste, and abuse, right? He got his government contracts. He gave the government a blanket thing to cover things, because it's just like this is the easy way of saying we're saving money. And that's the crazy part. Because you're talking about saving money here, saving money there, but where's the money that was saved? Because remember, he was going to save about $2.5 trillion. Yet that shit kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Because the interesting part is that most people don't understand that. That's why they have those inspector generals. That's their job. They inspect those departments. They overlook those departments. They do studies that they go and they present it to Congress, showing like, hey, money is being spent here. Money is being spent there. Money was wasted here. This was fraud. This was waste. This was abuse. This is the report I got on checking the VA for fraud, waste, and abuse. And they were people that were not based off of Republican or Democrat. They just did their fucking job. And before you did any of that, what did you do? You sent Elon in, got them fired, and then all of a sudden started finding as fraud, waste, and abuse. But when people started asking for receipts, you couldn't produce them. The same way, because remember, Doge at first had that long ass website that had everything, right? You notice how that shit got it smaller and smaller and smaller. Once people started noticing that there was actually no fucking savings happening, once people started looking at it, it was just like, yo, but you paying this whole contract out. So how you saving money if you still paying it out? Oh no, that wasn't there. So what did they do? They removed it. So a lot of the stuff got removed because people started asking questions. Just like, you can't tell me you saving $20 million if you have to pay out $20 million. That means you didn't cut the contract. You still fulfilled the contract. So you still paid the $20 million. Don't tell me you saved money when you spent it. That's interesting how you saved money even though you spent it. It was just like all y'all spend this money, but then somehow you ain't got no money, but somehow you got money. Like it's awfully confusing. You said, man, maybe that's where MAGA gets it from, because 1 + 1 to them don't make sense. Because you're not going to tell me it makes sense for anybody in MAGA right now to tell me that they actually going to save money, that they actually gaining anything from this big, beautiful bill. Please tell me, because please, I know the number one thing is like no tax on tips. I was like, you're still getting tax on tips. So stop the bullshit. You got lied to. You got conned. You believed it wholeheartedly there was going to be no tax on tips. And then it's only what? 25,000 credit that you can get? Only 25,000. It's the most. And a lot of y'all people that work off of those tips and that overtime make way more than 25,000 on overtime. Yeah, it's only 25,000. They didn't give you the full thing. That's what people keep on thinking. They say, oh, it's in there. What's up, Jeanette? It was just like people think that it's in there, but it's 25,000 as a credit in tax time, meaning you are still going to pay the taxes on the overtime when you are working it. You are just going to be able to have a $25,000 credit on the back end. So literally you are still going to be taxed on your overtime. You are just going to get a credit when you file your taxes. So please tell me how that's no tax on overtime. How is that no tax on overtime? Yet you got a cap. That shit don't make sense to me. I'm just saying. People want to talk about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. It's just like it's a credit that you get when you file your taxes. Yeah. Y'all got. Just like, let's just face it. Oh my bad. It's a tax deduction, not a credit. My bad. Still only 25,000. You still getting taxed. It's called you're still getting taxed. That's what I like to call it. You still getting taxed. Anything you can come up with, anything you can say, you still getting taxed. And remember, a credit would be better, yes. A deduction, that's what you're going to get. And then, and if you make over 150K, so there's limitations to it. So if you make over 150K, I believe, you don't get shit. You got to make under 150, and then under that 150, you can only use 25,000 of it. And it expires, mind you, but the tax cuts for the rich are permanent. Yet you only got this. And that's the other thing that people don't realize with this administration. This bill is written so that they know, like, the thing is that most of these Republicans know that they will not be in next year. Most of them know that. Most of them know that they will not be in Congress after the midterms. That's the thing that most people don't realize. These Republicans knew what they were doing. They knew they were going against their constituents. They knew they were going against Trump. But the thing is that they are doing this because they want to fall in line. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to make it basically so that shit expires. So when shit expires, you're going to vote in. See, after all this craziness for the next year and a half, when all this craziness happens, all these prices go up, people don't have health care, shit starts getting hectic and all this shit. What you gonna do? You're gonna be like, man, I'm tired of these Republicans. Let's vote for the fucking Democrats. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna have these tax breaks and all these credits or deductions that you're gonna be able to use. But then after that, this shit continues, but now you voted in the Democrats. So now when you actually start feeling the effects of what's going on in this country, you're gonna wholeheartedly blame the Democrats for doing all this shit and forget the fact that all these Republicans voted for this bill. So that then again, in 2028, Republicans will be like, look, the Democrats have been in charge for the past 2 years and they've caused all this stuff. And y'all not going to blame anybody else but the fucking Democrats or this, the American Party, whatever the fuck Elon wants to fucking create. That's going to be the excuse. They're going to all throw it on Democrats and be like, look, the Democrats caused this. They've been doing that shit with Biden now. So imagine, you could only wait and imagine to see how they're going to use that and be like, look, we tried to do the best for the American people, but the Democrats now, they hold whichever fucking office. And it was just like, they don't want to work with us. Mind you, the Republicans just went and passed all this shit without any fucking interference because they own the shit. But now the blame is still going to be pushed onto Democrats somehow. I was just like, it's the same shit. They're just going to blame it on them. And then the Republicans, because, you know, people are going to be dumb as hell and they're going to forget all the shit that's going on. They're going to be like, yeah, it is the Democrats' fault. It is the Democrats' fault that Donald Trump signed a big, beautiful bill, even though all the Democrats voted against it. So you can't tell me that it's the Democrats' fault when all the Democrats voted against it. Yet all the Republicans, except for like, I think 2, voted for it. Shit, you got a bunch of Republican senators right now that are saying, hey, after this, I'm retiring. Because they know damn fucking well they're not going to get voted back in again. You're not going to leave some situation that you know you're winning in. That's what I keep telling people. It's just like, you don't stop when you're winning. You're going to leave when you start losing, or you know you're going to lose. You're going to try to bow out gracefully. Because I know midterms, I ain't going to have a job if I'm Republican because I just cut funding from all my constituents. They know that already. Because you're not going to tell me that all these Republican states ain't calling their representatives like, hey, bro, don't vote for this. This is not going to help us. I was just like, like I said, it's the same way that Republican representative got that abortion in fucking Florida and tried to blame the fucking Democrats for the fucking law that the Republicans fucking passed, making it illegal for abortions in Florida. Yet she tried to blame the fucking Democrats, even though she was part of the people that wrote the law to stop it. Like that's the hypocrisy and the mental gymnastics I talk about when dealing with fucking MAGA. That's a hypocrisy. No, it's illegal to get abortions, but I'm gonna call a governor to get an abortion, even though I was part of the reason why this abortion law was put into place. But since I'm a representative, it's okay. I don't get no fucking thing. I was just like, so you're above the law when you do it that way. But if anybody else were to get an abortion in Florida, they go to jail. But since she's a representative, she could get it. Ain't that crazy? You know what the craziest part is? Where's all the pro-life fucking Republicans? Where's the pro-life MAGA? Where y'all at? Where the fuck y'all at? Pro-life? Anybody? Anybody? Any MAGA pro-life? Anybody that's MAGA that's pro-life right now got something to say? I just want to know. I just want to know, because the thing is awfully fucking quiet on that Republican. Awfully fucking quiet on that Republican when she did that. Because you were pro-life, right? So you should have been telling her she shouldn't be having that abortion. She should have been following state law. Why is she getting to circumvent state law, but you ain't got no problem with it? You ain't got no problem with being pro-life, but if it's a Democrat, it was just like, oh my God, it's unaliving babies. But she just did it, and there's a law against it in her state. Shit, some of these Republican states are trying to go after people in blue states that are giving assistance to these red states when it comes to that. But then you have a politician do it, yet all of a sudden it's quiet. The other thing, right? This is the other thing about MAGA, right? MAGA wants to talk about the liberals and these are so damn violent and all that stuff. Which party went out and just took out representatives? Why is that? Why are we quiet about that? Because, you know, Democrats and liberals are the violent ones, right? Yeah, you had somebody impersonate a police officer and go and off two fucking representatives. Well, the representative and their spouse. I was just like, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that the most violent, but then that went awfully quiet, didn't it? That's another one that went quiet over Republicans' heads, right? Republicans stayed quiet as shit about that when it came to fucking doing that, because that wasn't the first instance. There was multiple instances of Democratic leaders either being harassed or one actually being unalived. MAGA, anything? Republicans, anything? Anything to say? Nothing? Why is it so quiet? Why is it so hypocritical right now? That's the problem I have with it. Because it's like you say you're for something, but you're more against it than anything. You don't do anything to actually suffice or anything to actually do anything good. He was like, he was appointed by Tim Walz, yet he was a Republican. That's crazy. That's crazy. 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 He wasn't against, and he wasn't gonna go after Democratic leaders, and was seen to be Republican. No? That flew over your head too? Or you want to make excuses for that one? Or do you want to make excuses for the female representative in Florida that got the abortion? Which one is it? Because I want to know the level of hypocritical that you can be. That's what we want to get to. How the level of hypocritical or being a hypocrite that you can be. I was just like, oh, so now it's not, they're not violent. So now they're not violent, but they don't want abortion, or is it that y'all do want abortion only when y'all choose to have abortion? I was just like, I don't care what you think, but you here clocking me. I love people like that. It was like when you know you got them on a point, and then they'd be like, I don't care what you think. I was like, nah, you do because you listening. And you know I'm right, that's why you mad. That's why you say you don't care. But plain as day, that's hypocritical as shit. This bill ain't doing nothing for Americans. This instance of, or are we winning yet? The hypocritical game, yes. The hypocrisy, y'all definitely winning at that shit. Y'all got the lead in the department of hypocrisy. Y'all got the lead. Because everything, they don't want abortions, don't want to feed the kids, but if it's a Republican representative that needs an abortion, it's okay to get it. As long as you call your governor and your governor says it's okay, even though your state says it's against the law. That alone should tell you. That alone should tell you. It's easy to pick and choose when it's beneficial to you and when it's not. With Republicans, it's beneficial for them. They don't give a fuck about anybody else. Even though if it means they have to be a hypocrite about it, they will go about doing what it is because it benefits them. Because you're not going to tell me cutting benefits from Medicare or Medicaid that has been across this, because that's the thing. Think about it like this. The American Care Act was done, Obamacare was brought in what year? Obamacare was brought in whatever year it got brought in, right? How much fraud, waste, and abuse has been used from that time period? Because they couldn't even tell you that. Because that would have been a great statement. That would have been a great way for me to start an argument with anybody. It was like, look, the Affordable Care Act has cost us this many billions in fraud, waste, and abuse. But they couldn't say that. Why? Because there wasn't that fraud, waste, and abuse. Because people were sick. People do go to the doctor. People do look for assistance. People do need the assistance to pay those bills. So there wasn't fraud, waste, and abuse. Because if a person goes to the emergency room without any kind of insurance, but they had Medicaid, at least something got paid. They might owe the rest, but that was help. Now imagine you go into the emergency room with nothing. How you going to pay for the shit? How's that elderly family or your grandpa, your meemaw, your papa, all those people, when they go get sick now and they don't got that coverage, you gonna pay for it? You gonna take your grandparents under your wing and make sure that they have what they need? Because that's gonna cost you money. It's gonna cost you money to take care of your elderly and the kids now, where you had programs that were actually supplementing what you had, so you had extra money in your pocket. Now you don't have that anymore. Now you're gonna lose that. And that's why I say with veterans, this is usually a workshop and stuff like that, but you got to talk about this situation because it affects veterans also. Because veterans are what? They're older. Those Vietnam vets, they're older. They probably get supplemental help from Medicaid and Medicare. Those older veterans ain't going to be working. Most of them can barely get around. So now you telling me that there's going to be a restriction on them being able to receive assistance? Even though they can't do those things anymore? All your grandparents is gonna start working now. You're gonna see grandpa trying to drive in fucking Uber. Fucking going 15 in the fucking slow lane because he can't drive any fucking faster. Talking about I need to clock in 20 fucking hours. I just need to clock in my 20 fucking hours doing my Uber. I'll be going 15 miles an hour in the fucking slow lane, but I'm going to get my 20 hours so I can get my check. See how crazy that sounds? You see how crazy that sounds? But people don't think about it like that because people don't think outside the box. People don't look at it in that perspective. I was just like, read the bill. The problem is that you ain't reading the bill. The bill went through changes. The bill went to the Senate, went back to the Republicans. They signed off on it, they ratified it, and they made changes. Remember, the Republican House of Representatives proposed only $700 million being cut from Medicaid and Medicare. They sent it to the Senate Republicans, and they added an extra $200 million from being cut. So literally the House of Representatives said 700 million. The Senate said 900 million. And these were all Republicans. So I don't know how you try to fathom or try to bullshit your way into either blaming Biden, liberals, progressives, independents, or anybody else you want to blame. These were written by Republicans. Both sides of the bill, the one that got passed the first time, the one that got sent to the Senate, and the one that got sent back to the House. So that's 3 different times Republican representatives were told by their constituents and by the people that voted them in that they didn't want this shit to fucking pass. They didn't want them to vote for it. And 3 separate fucking times they voted for it. So please don't tell me that they are trying to do the best for this fucking country when you had 3 different fucking opportunities to make sure that healthcare wasn't fucking affected. Because remember, that was the main thing. We ain't touching Medicare, Medicaid, or anything, right? That was the basis of every single fucking Republican talk the whole way fucking through. You get the first big fucking bill that they pass, and it's the first thing they fucking do. So if that's not hypocritical, and that's not y'all just being fucking naive and fucking dumb, I don't know how else to fucking explain it. I don't know how else you actually have the audacity or the mental fucking capacity to try to blame Democrats or anybody but Republicans for what's going on right now. It was like, you can't tell me, like, you gonna blame Democrats? Y'all voted for this. This is what y'all voted for, right? This is what all of MAGA and all the Trump followers voted for. This is exactly what you voted for, right? This is the information you wanted to vote for. This is what you thought was going to help you in the long run, right? Don't blame fucking Democrats. Blame yourself. You voted for this. The Democrats didn't vote for it. Y'all voted for this. It was just like people don't understand because the thing is you can tell that most Republicans don't know. They don't know. Y'all still believe it was Biden's fucking tax plan. And he didn't even sign any tax plans. You know what the fuck that is? Basically anything, this was written wholeheartedly by the Republican Party. These motherfuckers, look, remember this. Congress don't do no fucking work, but all of a sudden Congress was staying up late on the weekends, fucking late night, making sure that bills are being proposed and gone through. Mind you, these people have been in fucking Congress for how many fucking years? You never seen them working overtime? These people working overtime? Most of the fucking Republicans that voted for this shit don't even know what the fuck is in the bill. How you voted for some shit that you ain't even try to read? I understand y'all can't read. I understand. But shit, listen to the fucking people that can. Listen to the people that have some fucking understanding. Listen to the people that have some fucking reading and listening fucking comprehension. Because y'all going off of and listening to people that have straight out lied to you. You have been shown that you've been lied to. And then you still talking about they doing what they supposed to be doing. Like, most of these people, bro, put it like this. Most people be like, I read this bill. And I know you lying. Because the people that fucking wrote it don't even know what the fuck is in it. How you write part of it, it got amended. You didn't even check to see what the amendment was within the shit you wrote, and you just said, fuck it, I'm signing it anyway. Appreciate that, Monique. Yeah, change it. I'm gonna be giving out different angles. This side, and I'll change it up. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But said I work under. It's just like people don't understand that. People don't understand the ramifications of this stuff because it doesn't happen overnight. These are not things that happen overnight. It starts phasing out. Because the thing is once you start getting those, it's put it like this, right? A lot of places are not going to be fucking taking you anymore. Why? Because you don't have that extra coverage. Some people don't realize how much fucking medical bills can fucking add up when you don't got fucking assistance. When you go to the doctor and instead of you getting that medical assistance through Medicaid or something like that, you're going to have to be paying out of pocket. You're probably going to have to pay your copay. And then you're going to receive a bill on the back end that you owe money for something that you didn't pay for last year because now it's not covered. They ain't going to no nursing homes. Ain't nobody going to nursing homes. Oh, I didn't even want to touch on Texas and the flooding. I don't want to sound like an asshole. I feel bad for the people that have been affected by this. But at the same time, I don't. They voted for this shit. Hey, that's your problem. What's up, Sagi? I was just like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the losses. I do. But some of y'all people wanted this. Some of y'all people didn't want relief. Some of y'all people thought FEMA was a fraud. Some people thought that FEMA was not help. FEMA was a waste of fucking money. But now all of a sudden that you have this shit, now that you're going into hurricane season, tornado season, and you're going to have all this shit fucking happening, all of a sudden you ain't going to have money to fund those places. So now, how you going to take care of those people? Because remember, those states, Texas has its money. So that's the one thing. It happened in Texas. Texas has money. But if this shit happens to a state like Alabama, Louisiana, those states that don't really got money like that, and they ain't going to get no extra funding from the federal government? I said, it doesn't matter how many people voted for Kamala in Texas or in New York. What does that matter? How many people voted for her? So 4.8 million people. There's more people there. It's just like that's what it is, but people ain't paying attention to that. Kamala had a weird, no, Kamala was a woman. Kamala was an African-American woman. Kamala was a highly educated African-American woman. Kamala was a woman of stature, had degrees, had education, had political experience, was an African-American, and was a woman. That's all it is. Don't add anything else to it. You had a lot of white men and a lot of men in general that didn't want a woman president, even though she was more qualified. You'd rather have a person that has been lying to you the whole fucking time and has been scheming his way, because this is the first president I never seen that decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own mobile fucking phone service. I'm going to sell fucking gold Trump cards. I'm going to sell fucking Trump Bibles. I'm going to actually have fucking merchandise that says 2028, knowing that I can't run for the presidency. This is all within the administration. Not one of his fucking failed ventures from before. This is happening now as president. When was the last fucking time you had a fucking president trying to be a car salesman? Talking about we buying Teslas. First president to ever be gifted a $400 million plane. First president to start cryptocurrency, even though cryptocurrency is kind of new, but it's been around for some time. Started that. Just making money off of people for craziness. All that shit. But what are Republicans saying? Nothing. You fall into this fallacy. Like, most of the people that support them can't even purchase any of this shit. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with another phone? What are you gonna do with a gold phone? Get robbed? Because you got a gold phone? What you gonna do? Pawn it? Try to make some money off of it? The shit ain't gonna be a collector's item. Ain't nobody gonna want that shit. Probably gonna have some terrible ass fucking service, some 2-week service type shit. You know how it is with him with two fucking. It's just like shit. How you selling a fucking phone ain't even fucking American made? Like, come on now. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it gets to the point where it's just like, no other president has made businesses while there. You know why? Because he's running the fucking country, not fucking businesses. That man is more prioritized to making sure businesses are created than fucking ending the war with Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, Russia, fucking everybody starting shit. Iran now. It's just like, please tell me. Oh, damn. If I have to go over the lies, as simple as no tax on tips. Do I need to go any further? That alone is the biggest lie that most people voted on. No tax on tips. Yeah, you still getting taxed every single fucking dollar of it, and you just gonna get some of it back on the back end, but you still paying taxes on it. And your taxes going up. So you actually paying more. And then you only gonna get a certain credit. It's the same people that fall for the same shit. Who do I think should run in 2028? I should. Fuck all that. Yeah, imagine, exactly. Imagine telling people, hey, we're going to give you no tax on cash tips. Like motherfuckers is out here reporting their fucking cash tips. Hey, I found this shit. It was just like, I'm gonna run. Fuck all that shit. I got a couple of years now. I got 3 years for y'all to help me start fucking campaigning. Cause fuck all this shit. Oh no, I might get called like the New York City mayor running. I might be a socialist. I may want what's better for the American people. I may want that you can go to the fucking doctor and not have to worry about fucking taking out a fucking loan to fucking pay for your health bill. My bad. My bad. My bad I would do this. My bad I would actually want to make sure you live a better life, not having to worry about going to the doctor, so that you would actually be able to go to work without having to worry about getting sick and losing your job. Imagine that. Lower grocery. He said I will start knocking on. You know they're gonna call me a socialist. No problem, Mom. Hey, Cruz, that's a good one. And then, yeah, they probably will try to deport my ass. That's why I need y'all to back me up, though. I was just like, bruh, Sagi, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Bro, the fact that it's just like, there's certain things, because this is the way I see it. I have no problem with capitalism. Capitalism is how we function. I have no problem with that. But the thing is you have to make capitalism so that everybody has a better opportunity to use it. Some things should be socialist. In a country that is the biggest, best, and strongest country in the fucking world, certain things should be socialist. Healthcare is one of those things. The health and care of everybody in this country should be something that's socialist. Social Security, yep, that it is a socialist idea because everybody pays into it once you work. And then people get money back. You don't even get the money back. Put it like this. The worst part about the Social Security shit is like you don't even get the same money you fucking put back into it. Said it's still on the way. And it's just like, those are the instances, man. It's just like, these are the things that people need to associate and need to put together. Because the thing is a lot of this happens, it's happening within this administration. And it affects everybody. It's not just liberals or Democrats or progressives or MAGA or Republicans. It affects everybody. I was just like, people don't understand that. People don't want to fucking pay attention to it. People want to look at it as just like, no, certain things should be done throughout the country where everybody receives it. Everybody should be able to receive free healthcare. From then on, hey, you pay insurance. Like, look, I would put it like this. I wouldn't even get rid of the insurance companies, which is one of the biggest problems, but I wouldn't even get rid of that. Everybody has free healthcare, right? You would still pay into insurance. But that insurance would cover those major operations, those major necessities. Like, hey, you need fucking chemo. Chemo's costly. That's what it would cover. Everybody's still going to pay into the insurance. But then that means the rest of the country is covered. So when your parent or your mima or whoever or your aunt or whoever, somebody ends up with cancer, whatever like that, boom. You've been paying insurance. You can go get cancer treatment. Everything else is covered. All those regular checkups, going to the dentist twice a year. Make sure you got good teeth. That's covered. Hey, making sure you get a physical checkup because, you know, kids do that when they go to school. They need to get a physical checkup. You ain't paying for that. That's something that needs to be done. Why? Because I want to make sure kids are going safe to school. So you do that. Yeah, and insurance would cover it. That would have to be a change. But for that, I would disappear if I tried to make some change like that. But it was just like, that's how it would be. Everybody gets health care. The basic necessities. You get the flu, you can go get a flu shot. You get this, is like that. When it comes to something that's like an emergency, like you need surgery, operations type shit, that's what insurance should just cover, and everybody pay into it. It was like, yeah, some people are gonna have the problem of just like, oh my God, this is socialism. I don't want to pay for somebody else's shit. Bro, if you're in a red, broke ass state, somebody else is already paying for your dumb ass. So I don't want to hear no dumb shit. At least this way, you're fucking paying for everybody in this country to be taken care of. But people will have a fucking problem with that too. But basic necessities, basic being able to take care of people just by going to the fucking place or just going, that should be done. I don't mind paying fucking insurance, but if I go to a fucking insurance claim and they be like, nah, bro, we ain't covering that. Motherfucker, I've been paying you how many fucking thousands of dollars for how many fucking years, and you gonna tell me I ain't got no money to pay for my fucking shit? Nah, bro. That shit don't work like that. That's why you had Luigi. Yes. Basically, that's a simple solution. Anything that you want, like, hey, if you want breast enlargement, reduction, you paying out your money for that. We ain't covering all that shit. That's extra shit. But if it's like, hey, you got into a car accident and you need fucking severe surgery, hey, everybody already paid for that. You good, bro. Make sure you come out alive. We may have to work on something for physical therapy after the fact, but for that surgery, you covered. And your insurance will cover the physical therapy afterwards. Your rehab and stuff, that's what your insurance goes for. Does that not work? It sounds like a good work. It sounds easy to me. It was just like, you still paying insurance. You still got your premiums. You still going to have levels of coverage. It's like same thing like a deductible for your car. Your shit get in the wreck. What do you got to do? Pay a deductible to get it fixed. It was like, you know what? I need fucking shoulder surgery. You know what? I'm going to pay my deductible and I'm going to get surgery and I ain't going to worry about it afterwards. But for MAGA, that would be fucking outlandish. That would be fucking crazy. That would be me being too much of a socialist to actually make sure people are taken care of. Say shoulder surgery 5 times. Shoulder no, Cindy. Had me fucked up on the second one. I couldn't even get the fucking other 3 out. Shit. But that's what it is. It's just like stuff like that. It's just like it's simple things that can be done to fix this country that doesn't need a fucking over fucking haul of just fucking destruction and chaos. You don't need to remove benefits from people that need it the most. If you're an American citizen, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Imagine all the money, bro. Put it like this: if you took all the money, just think of this. Imagine taking all the money that has been put into insurance premiums. How much money would we have to take care of people? Imagine all the money that's been put into insurance premiums so far. Shit. Imagine all the money you've put. Imagine all the money I've put. Imagine taking a whole fucking community of money that's been put in there and then actually using that to take care of the community. You think anybody would be in problems? You think anybody would have medical issues? You think people would have a problem going to the doctor? No. Most people don't go to the doctor because they don't want to pay the bill. Most people don't go to the doctor because, fuck it, I'll tough it out. I was like, I'm coughing up my lung. Don't worry, bro. Put some Vicks on that shit. Get a fucking hot noodle soup. You be straight to go, bro. Up and running. Or if you in the military, bro, get some ibuprofen, some Motrin. Grab a fucking energy drink. Get a fucking pack of cigarettes. Smoke that shit, and you be good to go the rest of the way. Just like, it's just like California will spend $9.5 billion in healthcare for non-citizens. California also gives $80 billion to the United States in extra money that they create from their revenue. Let's bring that out too. Let's not forget about that fact that California puts $80 billion more into the United States from what it makes. They pay out $80 billion to the rest of the country to supplement the rest of the country. So they make enough money to pay $9.5 billion in healthcare for their state. And then they're still taking care of other states. So I don't want to hear an excuse of, oh my God, California's doing it. Yeah, the same people that have a problem talking about my taxes paying for shit, yet California's taxes is paying you. Ain't that crazy? He said, change your socks and have some Motrin. Hey, don't forget to take the knee when you're drinking the water. If you don't take a knee while you're drinking the water, probably out the Camelback, you ain't going to get healed. You got to take that knee. Take a knee, drink water, Motrin, energy drink, pack of cigarettes, boom. 12-mile ruck, you off and running with no problem. You off to the races like that. It's just like it's the thing is that people come up with dumbass shit and think that they have thought processes where they say it was like, oh my God, this money's being spent here. I was like, no, bro, it's their money. That shit ain't yours. They're doing what they want to do with their state. Is your state? It was just like, everybody can tell you what the fucking blue states is doing, but no MAGA can tell you what their own state is doing. Isn't that interesting? Y'all never found that interesting? That every single time a MAGA or Republican wants to bring up a point, they can tell you about everything out of their state. They can tell you what California does. They can tell you what fucking Hawaii does, New York does, Maine does. But you tell them how much funding is going into their own state from this money that goes from those blue states. Shh. Not a fucking word. All of a sudden, they don't know facts. All of a sudden, they can't comprehend shit. All of a sudden, it's just like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. I was just like, oh, this is what's happening. I was just like, oh, these people are covering it. But it's just like, if these people are covering it, you're not covering it. So if Republicans ain't covering it, why are they mad at Democrats for covering it? Awfully confused. Because these are the same people that don't want supposed handouts, but they receive handouts from the other states when they're federally funded. And most of the Medicare that most people don't understand, that Medicare, Medicaid, I always confuse the two, is paid by the federal government. So a lot of these states that get this assistance are being covered by the federal government to supplement their state money to be able to pay for these medical expenses through Medicaid and Medicare. Now you're going to remove that. So now your state is going to receive less money, yet is still going to need to provide those same services. So those same hospitals that you still have, you're still going to have to pay for them through the state. Or your state is going to go negative because your hospital's not going to be able to pay the bill because nobody's paying it and they don't have Medicare to cover most of the stuff. But that's where people don't put those things together. Same thing happened, like I said, veterans and fucking regular people. You go to get help, you have some supplemental thing, you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, if those hospitals even stay open. Those states have been in the red for so long. They've been managed by Republican senators, governors, and all that stuff, and they haven't been successful. They haven't been able to create more money. They are still getting federal funding to cover the losses and the money they do not make. So if these states are already in an issue of not being able to provide these necessities for their people, imagine taking the federal funding that went on top of it to provide these things. So now you are literally losing the funding that you had to take care of your stuff. No, not California, because California can afford to pay for itself. Most blue states can afford to pay for themselves because they have those big population blue states pay more into the federal government than these small states. Because you know why? Put it like, it's just simple. Like that's the thing. It's a simplicity. California has 35 million people. Right now I'm in the state of Kansas. The state of Kansas only has 3 million people. You're not going to tell me that the state of fucking Kansas with 3 million people is producing more tax revenue than a state of 35 million or a state of 20 million in New York. You're not going to do that. You know why? Because the cost of living in California and New York are astronomical compared to a state like Kansas. So you're not going to tell me that your hard-earned taxes in Kansas are the ones that are making sure New York pays those $3,000 fucking checks and those hotel rooms for those supposed illegals. You just not. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't gonna make sense. That shit is not gonna work for you. Your excuse is not gonna be viable. What's up? It's just not. That's the simplicity of it. That's the simple way of breaking it down. You're not gonna tell me that a state that has a higher cost of living with a higher population is making less tax revenue than a state with a lower population. It's just not feasible. That's just not feasible to have an actual outcome like that. Now, certain states more because they spend more on different things. But like I said, the state of California pays $80 billion more into the federal government than anything. That $80 billion alone, if California decided to do that, they can house anybody they wanted for an extra fucking $80 billion. It provides the healthcare to these people. You don't hear, you know what's funny? The thing is when you look at it, that you never hear these Democratic states asking for extra funding. You notice that? I haven't heard of that, have you? When's the last time you heard New York or California be like, yo, we need funds? I was like, you can't tell me that's not the thing. That's the outcome of this right now. This isn't gonna be successful for anybody. It's gonna take time for it to process out. Because remember, a lot of the stuff was signed, but a lot of the stuff doesn't start till next year. And that's when people are really gonna start feeling it. When all this, like basically, because some of these things are into effect till the end of Donald Trump's term, and some are not. The tax breaks are permanent. Everything else is being phased in and phased out. I was like, this legislation, because the thing is what's going on is it's a federalism. There is a federal government and then there's state legislation. It was meant that way for a reason, so that the federal government didn't have full control over the states. The states have their rights also. So the thing is the one thing is that states are paying into the federal government. So if you're threatening a state to say, hey, we're going to take away federal funding, because that's what he's doing in California. Talk about, we're going to take away federal funding from California. California's like, fuck it, do it. California's not the state to threaten. California has its own money to take care of itself, even without federal funding. Now, every state can't do that, but California is one of the ones that can. It's like, that's the thing, that's the process, but you have people in this. Federal California can fund whatever it needs to if it wanted to, if it was not paying into the federal funds. It's not about overthrowing the government. It's about fixing the government. It's about eliminating the fraud, waste, and abuse. Yeah, because, bro, this country is going to get ugly quick if you just decided to say, hey, the states ran their own shit. It's going to happen regardless now, because you're still going to have California still going to be paying federal money. But the thing is that federal money is no longer going to go to those Medicaid, Medicare programs. And it's just like, it's gonna cause chaos, because this is what's coming out of this is like, this is starting to look like fucking Europe. Me being stationed there for 4 years, that's what this is starting to look like. We're gonna be the United States, and literally each state is gonna basically try to classify itself as a fucking government at this rate, where every state is gonna be a whole different fucking world. Still gonna be like how they have the EU, it's gonna be the US. But every state is gonna have their own shit. Cause look, it's already happening, and it depends on the leadership. Cause like I said, look at the Republicans, how they're like, oh, we gotta make sure we keep this way. Democrats, we're gonna keep it this way. Oh no, we can't agree on this. Oh, we're in charge here. We're running it this way. It was just like, not allowed under the rules of the country. Wrong, because under the rules of the country, states have their state rights, and they can question those laws and those federal laws. That's why we have those injunctions. That's why we have the Supreme Court. That's why we're going through all this litigation right now with an executive order being passed and the states not following it. The same way, just like you want to enforce a federal law of immigration policies, but states have it and they have their right to say, hey, we will not assist them. Doesn't mean we're not helping. It just means we are not going to use state funding to provide this when the federal government is trying to use it as an example. Fire, I wish every veteran would stick together regardless of politics. It's just not possible. Because some people voted for this and they believe that this was the right thought process. Some people thought it was okay. For The veterans that will be most affected as this continues to go will be those that retired from the military, because they're gonna go for your shit. Remember, they weren't going over for Medicaid and fucking thing. What makes you think they won't go for fucking veterans double dipping, as they call it, for retiring and disability payments? They went against the old and the young that needed the fucking thing, and you think veterans is gonna be okay? You think they're gonna not do something against veterans? Really? They're going to be able to say it's even smaller percentage than those 17 million that lost Medicaid. They're going to be able to say, hey, it's only about maybe like 4 million veterans that this is going to affect. Well, maybe I'm on the low side. Because right now there's 19 million veterans alive right now, right? Only about 9 million use the VA system. So out of those 9 million that use the system, I don't know how many are 100%. Now, when they start saying, which, like I said, everybody's like, oh my God, it's not going to happen. But when you look at fucking Project 2025, everything is going down the list. It's there. I was just like, all this funding is being provided to you by states that make more money than they lose. I was just like, the easiest definition and the easiest way I like to show Republican and MAGA vets about the issues and ongoing about what party actually protects and fights for it is look at the PACT Act. Look at the PACT Act. Go back. Look at the PACT Act. It was signed into law August 9th, 2022. When you go, look at the votes. Look at the votes. Look at the Democratic votes and look at the Republican votes. Out of everybody that voted, only 22 Republicans out of the rest of them decided to actually vote in favor of the PACT Act. The rest voted against it. All the Democrats voted for and 22 Republicans voted for. The rest voted against. That alone, and look how influential that legislation has been, that the past 2 years, 2.5 years, because it's about to hit 3 years. You've had over almost an influx of 2 extra million fucking claims. You've had a bunch of Vietnam vets that didn't get any assistance or anything, getting assistance because of that. Yet and then it's always the excuse of, I was just like, it always becomes a political thing with Republicans because they always try to find a way to blame Democrats. It's just like, bro, everything that has just been passed has been by Republicans. Everything. All the changes that have happened since January 20th, all those executive orders, all those orders by the Supreme Court being changed, all those court rulings, all of them have come about because of a Republican administration. So please stop with the nonsense of Democrats. And that people ain't gonna they're trying to. The thing is they're trying to automate stuff, fire. So they're trying to automate it. Collins wants people to be on Twitter. They want to make it automation because they want less people to work and they want it to be computerized. They want it to be that you submit a claim and AI will filter through it and designate what you have and what you don't have. That's what it is. It's gonna be AI. That's why they're trying to remove and fire all these people, because they're trying to do that. They're trying to make it so that it is AI funded and AI backed more, so that way when a veteran goes to file a disability claim, it's not gonna go through a person. It's gonna go through the fucking AI screening, and it's gonna be like, oh, saw this, saw that, oh, denied. Your shit is gonna be fucking happening a lot faster. You're gonna get a notification a lot faster. Will it be correct? Who knows? But your shit got protected. Your shit, you got your rating. Your shit was denied, but we processed it. We can now say that your claim has been processed in a faster fashion. Wrong, but it's still fucking there. It's going to happen with more denials. Then with more denials takes more time. People don't even get on computer. Most people, a lot of the people that need these information and this information when it comes to disability claims and all that stuff are veterans of older age that don't know how to use these resources. Imagine trying to tell a fucking Vietnam vet, hey, I need you to go on your phone, get the VA mobile app, and I need you to fill out your shit through there. And that's the outlook of it, and that's the part that people fail to realize and they don't see. It's gonna happen. People need to realize that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna cause this rift. It's gonna cause this issue. It's gonna cause the fact that people are not going to be able to take care of themselves. And it's not just only that, it's gonna be vets too. Yeah, people like AI, like remember the whole thing was everybody should get into coding. Everybody should get into coding. So you had all these people working on getting into coding. Now all of a sudden said AI said, I don't need you no more. I could do my own coding. So all these people that spend all this money learning code and do all this shit, now all of a sudden it's like, bro, we don't need you. The computer do this shit. I just gotta tell it. It just do it. I don't even gotta think about it that bad. It's just like it's a crazy situation, but the thing is most people don't realize that when it comes to government legislation takes time to actually feel the effects. AI is taking over a bunch of stuff. AI needs to get rid of these Congress people. At least I know with AI, they'd be able to read the fucking bills. I was like, bro, you can't tell me to ask Chat GPT when fucking congressmen and congresswomen have the same ability to use a fucking AI function, but they somehow don't use it to know what the fuck they're voting for. How does that work? How does that work? I was just like to be naive and say that he raised pay and benefits for vets. That happens every year. That happens every year. There's a raise every year. Like, how are you going to use that as a thing? He raised pay and benefits. That happens every year. There's a raise every year for military veterans and for active duty service members. He didn't do shit. That's something that's been in there. There was no fucking specific benefits. Because the one benefit that I thought was Donald Trump that I actually gave him praise for was the Mission Act, which was the ability for veterans to find out of care and community care. No, that was actually Obama that signed that shit for veterans to start being able to get better care and get community care because of the loss and the wait times. That wasn't Trump. I thought it was Trump. I wholeheartedly was giving him that the whole time till I actually looked up the whole shit and saw that he didn't do it. It was fucking Obama that did it. You can look up the fucking thing, and it's Obama that signed it for veterans to start getting that community care, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump just added to it, but he tried to claim that it was him that created it. That's the crazy thing about this dude. This dude will say anything he did it when it's a fucking lie. And y'all eat that shit up. My man takes credit for everything except for the shit that he does wrong. You say you take credit for everything you fucking do. Vegas, exactly. It was just like you the one telling me to go ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT. Then it becomes he can speak better. He can do this. The man that can't remember what he does. No, you are not gonna take credit for doing something that you did not do. Because he doesn't talk about adding it. He talks about it as if he created the ability for veterans to do that when he didn't do that. I was just like, it's simple because most people fall under this. Most people fall under this thought process or this theory. It's not semantics. It's fucking political lying. It is lying. If you created something, you should be able to tell me what you created and how you created it. It is not I'm going to take your work, take credit for it, add a little sentence to the thing and be like, "Oh, this was of my doing. I created this. I did this." It's like, "No, bro. There's no true. It's a lie if you're saying you created something that you didn't create." Saki, don't even get me started on that. It's just like, come on now. I was just like, there's a bunch of veterans here. I got veterans that follow on YouTube because I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on TikTok. I'm live on my guest account too. And it's just like, you just can't. And it's just like most of this stuff, it was just like he's done this already. He's had these plans, he's instituted this stuff. It was like you had these tax cuts and then they furthered them and then made them permanent. Why isn't that the American people aren't getting the permanent fucking tax breaks? Why is it that the wealthiest are getting the biggest tax breaks? Why isn't that we ain't getting a tax break that just stays there, and with the richest people they can get an increase of 1 to 2%? Even if it's an increase of 1 to 2%, it wouldn't be that crazy. But then what? I was just like, some of y'all, man, it's just like, man, I feel sorry for the people in your area. I feel sorry for the people that you live with. Because the thing is some of the understandings y'all just don't have. If you're not in the military or didn't serve in the military or don't pay attention to what the VA does or how veterans react to stuff or how they deal with stuff, you don't know about it. If you live in your own little bubble, which I've already seen, you say you like the dude says he's a welder. Bro, you one of those dudes that works his ass off for fucking 40 to 50 hours easily a week, and you still gonna get taxed on tip. Even with all the fucking craziness and all the shit you talk, oh my bad, you work 80 hours a week. So you are still going to pay taxes on those 80 hours. But you fucking fantastic, right? You still getting taxed on tip, but you voted for that, right? You voted for no tax on tips. You thought you was gonna have extra money in your pocket after work, and now you realizing that the only time you're gonna get money is tax season. That's the only time you're gonna get money. And that's not counting. That's depending if people know the fact that it's just like you still got to pay into it. Jay, that's the same thing. Working 80 hours a week is not a flex. It really isn't. It was just like, bro, you working 80 hours a week. That's not the flex you thought it was. I was like, you got money, yeah, you don't really got money. Because you're still working 80 hours a week. There's no, you're not saving money on taxes. It's just like you're gonna get money back on taxes, but throughout while you're working, you're still gonna be paying those things on it. The only thing that shit incentivizes is for people like you to think, oh, I'm gonna work more overtime now, so I'm gonna work even more. Yet it's capped. So you gonna bust your ass this next coming year thinking, oh, I'm gonna make crazy money on thing, and then find out it's only 25,000 that counts towards it. Even though you gonna make way more than 25,000 in fucking overtime. Nobody boasts about working 80 hours and says they only have to work 30. That's a 50-hour change, bro. Come on now. Let's be serious now. You starting to do that fucking MAGA math. The shit that don't add up. Shit don't add up. I was like, it's always the same people that supposedly make so much fucking money that were hurting so bad that needed all these changes. Like that's the one thing is a MAGA math. It's either MAGA math or fucking mental gymnastics. Cause, bro, there's no way that shit is adding up. The same people that supposedly were making so much fucking money, but then somehow started losing money during Biden are the same people that have no idea what the fuck is going on. Because you've had the same tax breaks since fucking Donald Trump. The only thing that changed was during Donald Trump was how they have those same things that expire. Like, you know, that child tax credit that you got, what was I think, $2,000 for in your thing as a credit is no longer there because they let that expire. But those tax breaks, those taxes are still the same. So you were still paying the same taxes no matter what you were doing under the whole Biden administration, but you want to blame Biden for making less money even though you were making the same shit. So how does the math? I was just like, these are the things that people need to. It's just understanding. People are gonna lose out on this. Jeanette, that's one of the biggest things that people forget, that this isn't Donald Trump's first time in office. Donald Trump, this is his second time. This dude isn't new to this. He's been there before. I was like, this isn't new. This isn't just a brand new occurrence. This dude has already been in office once. This is the second time. Yet this time we decided to try to take advantage of it because he see what he could do. He could sell Bibles. He could sell t-shirts. He could sell cell phones. He can make money because he is the biggest name in the fucking world right now. And he's using it as a businessman to make more money. The same way Elon did when he had him fucking put those cars in the front lawn to make more money. He knew and he knows what he's doing. Yet the people that voted for him the first time didn't realize he didn't do shit for him. And now all of a sudden he's doing it again. And now he's doing more shit to benefit himself and benefit the people less. And people still don't realize it, but he's the one. Ain't nobody gonna stop people from making money. I can't make anybody from stopping money. If you want to make money, make money. Ain't nobody stopping you from doing it. But when you skewing the fucking level to your side and everybody else is quiet about it, you got to say something. That's how it is. But Republicans fail to realize that because they get lied to and they follow the same bullshit. Because this has happened before. It happened with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton fixed the fucking budget. And the crazy thing is for most of the people that are fucking MAGA fucking cultists, they were alive for fucking Bill Clinton. And he fucking budgeted and fucking balanced the budget. Then what happened? George W. Bush Jr. came in and fucking fucked the economy up and got us into a fucking long ass war for no fucking reason. He fucked the shit up. Then what happened after those 8 years? You had Obama come in, and what did Obama do? He inherited a bad fucking economy that was left by George W. Bush Jr. and his tax cuts. And then what did he do? He came in and put taxes back on those Republicans to make some money back. And the economy started flourishing, and the economy started going up. Our interest rate was down. Our fucking inflation was down. Donald Trump comes in. That's still going. Then he implements in 2017 his fucking tax cuts. Then a couple of years later, with COVID exasperating it even more, it showed what the tax deficiency was going to be with these tax cuts. Yet, where did we get? Biden to jump back in there now. Another Democrat trying to spend money and build on infrastructure, do the CHIPS Act, do the fucking Infrastructure Act, do all these things and keep on pushing it. Why? To help the American people build resources in the country. The Infrastructure Act, which was, hey, we need semiconductors or a place to build semiconductors here because all of our shit that we purchase has it. Well, let's bring companies in. Oh, let me be Donald Trump and say I'm bringing in these companies, even though this was signed off on during the Biden administration. Yet you cut that. So the Infrastructure Act that would have helped on working on federal roads, bringing construction money into all these states, basically that would be able to fix their roads and do construction. Now, where did that money go? Nope, that money's out. Oh, let's do a high-speed rail thing that would actually fix and, allow people to travel faster around the thing. You know what? Let's get rid of that fucking act too. Yet, who do y'all blame? Y'all didn't blame him. He's done all this. All this stuff has been there. All this stuff was there to fucking work. We never gonna have a high speed rail if you keep on fucking cutting the funding and saying that it's not necessary when you know it's necessary. You want to cut funding from energy efficient stuff. So you want to keep fucking old ass, antiquated fucking energy fucking solutions that basically cost more, and it's because all these people that have that money are making that money from that instead of going with clean energy, because supposedly fucking windmills give fucking cancer. Really? Those windmills give those windmills give cancer. So all that cattle that's around there, are we eating the cancer? I'm just asking questions now because I just want to learn. I guess I just want to know, because if all these windmills fucking give cancer, then that means we eating cancer because all these fucking cattle that's around these things are gaining cancer. Or is that why we stopping it? I'm just trying to figure out, because that's the reason why we didn't want to invest in fucking windmills when windmills have been used since the fucking dawn of fucking time, when they knew you can, oh shit, this can actually provide electricity. Oh, I know that we're gonna be paying more in taxes, but these people don't understand that. Oh, just like these people believe that stuff. It was just like they believe all this stuff. They believe all this nonsense. These are the same people that believe all this nonsense. A lot of people just listen to the news, and that's what they grew up doing. So Republicans have learned that with these older constituents. It was like they're going to listen to the news. These people have watched Fox News their whole fucking lives. They're not going to change now and decide, you know what, CNN is my channel. These people grew up watching that. Wind turbines cost less than you fucking paying for gas. They want to talk about wind turbines ain't efficient. And gas is. Have you seen gas prices lately? And that's efficient? No. It's easy to tell you that wind turbines are not efficient. Why? Because the people that make the oil and the gas is gonna lose out money if you start believing that shit. Damn, imagine that. Imagine that using only 15 years of clean energy where you have less pollution in the fucking air and you're just using wind to push a fucking windmill. Crazy. 15 years. It's not clean, right? I want to know, please, because you seem to be the most knowledgeable person I've ever had in here. Please tell me how the wind is not successful. Please tell me how much we pay in taxes for the wind. Please. Please tell me. I just want to know. How much you paying for wind a year? How much do you invest in wind per year? I just want to know because I haven't had to pay for a breeze yet. Damn, a nigga, you pay billions for the wind? For the wind, just like a breeze, you pay for that? Shit, I ain't never going around your town. You gotta make. Oh, the process of making the wind turbine. Like, you hear the excuses that you keep on coming up with to how it's not fucking affordable. Yet you mean to tell me it lasts 15 years? Oh, let me guess. Oh, Bolton lives in Iowa surrounded by them. So you must have cancer. I'm sorry to hear that, Bolton. Because I'm guessing since you live all around them, you must have, your whole neighborhood must be full of cancer, right? You got to change the wings and the motor. I got to get a fucking oil change and change my tires too. And I got to pay insurance for it. And I got to pay for the gas that goes into the fucking car. I'm not directly paying for a windmill. I'm not paying for the wind to blow into the windmill either. I'm in Kansas, bro. This is the windiest fucking state. This is the windiest state besides Chicago. Overall, windiest state, Kansas. They got these shits all over. You don't see these people coming out with fucking cancer. Nobody's coming up with cancer is a fucking bullshit that y'all fucking believed. If it's something that needs maintenance, tell me, please tell me what doesn't need some sort of fucking maintenance in this country. The roads don't even last 15 fucking years. So you mean to tell me for 15 years, you can have something that's going to have some maintenance cost, obviously, because everything is, same way you got a car. But you don't have to operate it because the wind naturally makes it work and produces free energy because of the wind. In order for you to get somewhere in your car, you have to pay for something that was also produced, that cost money to create, and then they charge you for it. A wind turbine can be taken down and put another one up. Or if you notice, they just keep on putting them up. And there's fields of them. So that's electricity being made. What electricity are you being made by the gasoline you purchase? Please tell me. The gasoline that you purchase. Okay, it's replaced. It's the same thing as maintenance. Like, you are making a mute point. You can't tell me that you have cancer because you live in a town that has them. You can't tell me that your whole neighborhood has fucking cancer in it because that's what they cause. Yet they last for 15 years. That's a problem. They have fucking maintenance that they have to do. That's a fucking problem. Yet they produce from a resource that is free. When's the last time you had to go mining for a fucking wind? When was the last time you had to pay somebody to fucking get a breeze? Never. You have to pay for gas. How is it free? The wind pushes the turbine and creates electricity. The same way where they have water mills. When they spin in the water makes the mill move, which creates electricity. Like, what part of that part do you not understand where it is money that is not needed because it's a natural resource, which is air, natural minerals, and all this other stuff you have to dig for? What do you have to do to get oil? You have to drill. That's not natural. You have to dig in and find where there's rich oil deposits. I can stand outside and the wind is going to hit me. Please. Everybody's like, no, it's not energy efficient. And you paying for fucking gas that's made the same fucking way, but the price changes on a fucking daily basis is. Because please tell me what process has changed differently. It's the same oil, right? Still processed the same, right? So why is the price changing? Yet that's sufficient? What, why is it so much efficient when the price can't stay the same? Oh, regulations. Oh, like the same regulations that takes funding away from making sure those solar things are efficient or that they're used or that they're maintained. That same regulations? The same regulations that were cut with this new bill to make sure that they didn't get extra funding to make sure they were doing good. Because they were cutting into the oil industry by making actually something efficient where they couldn't exploit people. Wow. Ain't that crazy? Crazy when you look at it like that, huh? Crazy, right? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Regulations, right? The same regulations that are being taken away, but give more tax cuts and more benefits to oil producers that consume natural resources instead of using a natural resource which they don't have to consume and just operates freely. The same way as solar panels, because those are inefficient also, right? Using the sun, which is free, to get energy, that's not effective either, right? Because that shit turns off. Same thing as the wind, it just turns off. It just stops working. Or the price goes up on the sun. Maybe the digits on how hot it is, but what people forget is that wind turbines and solar fall under green energy. So if they cut funding for turbines, they are also cutting the funding for solar because they consider it green energy because it doesn't use any resources and it doesn't give off any fucking alternative. It doesn't give off cancer. That's why they want to restrict it because it can't be exploited. I can't lie to you about the wind. Natural, the sun, the wind, using our natural resources to not have to consume resources that are needing to be found. You got to dig for oil. Once you have the reserve, why you think it's drill baby drill? It's not for no fucking reason. You mean to tell me it's going to be drill baby drill, but we don't want, but of course, energy efficient stuff is terrible. Energy efficient stuff was helping pretty well during the Biden administration. Then all of a sudden, because of the Infrastructure Act and all that shit, and then all of a sudden it just went bad. It just went bad. It just went bad. Energy efficiency just went bad during the Biden administration. But when Donald Trump had the same shit, because all these fucking windmill farms have been around since fucking Donald Trump was in the first place. But now all of a sudden, this time around, they're bad. They weren't bad during this first administration. They weren't bad during the fucking Biden administration. But then all of a sudden, these are the worst of the worst fucking things that we can do to make the American people have efficient energy. Bro, imagine being naive to think that these people don't have the money for it. It's like, bro, they were able to build fucking detention camps in 8 days. You really think that these people don't have the fucking money to actually keep these things operating? They've had the money to keep all these fucking oil rigs fucking operating. They have all this money to continue building fucking oil rigs. All of a sudden they don't got money? Come on, bro. Let's not be that naive. Let's not have that MAGA math. Let's talk about how a lot of these places, when they do their oiling, they call it fracking, and they cause issues within the land that these people live on, and then those people develop actual fucking cancer. Never said that, right? We don't talk about that part. Because I haven't heard of anybody coming out with cancer because they were by wind turbines, but I have heard of people coming up with oil and shit like that in their fucking land because there was oil and drilling done on the land that they live on. Interesting, right? Which one were we talking about again? Which is the one that's causing more damage, or which is the one that actually has health hazards that have been proven to be worse and not as efficient as people want to claim? Because people want to claim it's not efficient to use these wind turbines, but these shits ain't discovering fucking cancer. Like some people is just there to just be there. Like some people are just naive. It was just like, bro, you work 80 hours a week. Just keep working 80 hours a week and let everybody else deal with the actual intelligent shit in the fucking country. Because literally your point of view is basically you make enough money that you're okay, but you got a problem with everything. These things aren't efficient, yet that's what they've been telling you. Yet you haven't, like I said, for everything that y'all can come up with, what MAGA could come up with, bring some fucking documentation. Just any kind of documentation. Any fucking paperwork, any fucking study, even if it's fucking expired. Come up with something to be viable to actually have a belief into what the fuck you're being told. Because this administration has been fucking skewing what they say to make it seem like it's the fucking worst. And then all of a sudden it's a complete lie, or they do the complete fucking opposite. Just like a lot of this stuff is plain and simple. Like y'all don't care for the country, y'all care for yourselves, but y'all care for whatever y'all being told to care for. Because there's no way in hell you're gonna tell me that all this shit is going on the way it's going on. You're not gonna be able to tell me that. You're not gonna be able to tell me that all this stuff that's being changed, all this stuff that's gonna implement is gonna benefit people. Because the thing is green energy helps people. It lowers costs some way. Because remember, when people get solar, if they make enough solar, they get paid for providing solar. So that must be efficient, that it went from, wow, you have to pay for electricity, to the electricity companies actually giving you money back because you're supplying them with energy. That sounds efficient as fuck to me. Where it went from I got a bill to I got a fucking check. When's the last time oil did that for you? Please tell me, somebody, please tell me when was the last time you paid for oil and oil paid you back? When's the last time you filled your fucking gas and your car said, bro, you did a good job filling me up, bro. I'm gonna let you go an extra 3 miles on this fucking E right now. I'm gonna give you an extra fucking mile and a half. Once this shit hits E, you got an extra mile and a half because you said you did such a good job fucking filling me up with gas. When was the last time you got money back for being a successful fucking gas consumer? But I do hear of people that have the fucking sun, which is cost effective. Shit, that shit's shining bright right now. That motherfucker ain't charging me for shit. When I go outside and the fucking wind just slap the shit out of me, especially in the cold, I ain't paying for shit. Oh yeah, in Alaska they do pay you a stipend for being part of Alaska, but you ain't paying for that shit. You ain't paying. Y'all damn well know. Y'all understand the fucking cold when y'all see fucking wind chill. When y'all see wind chill, y'all see that shit. Ain't nothing there, right? Ain't what you using? You ain't using the wind there. You using what? More fucking gas that ain't paying you back to keep your ass warm. Or you got a fireplace and you fucking chopping up wood to throw that shit in there. Easy suggestion that I keep seeing that a lot of people make sense. Every single fucking parking lot you see, any large parking lot, make it a fucking solar farm. It's not even a desert. Put it in parking lots. You got a one level parking lot, cover it with solar panels. It's gonna be there. You protect the cars, but you also making fucking electricity that could go to whatever company it is. But no, we gotta make sure. You imagine how much energy if every single Walmart installed fucking solar panels? You imagine how much? You imagine how well that would work? Just solar panels is like, we got all this fucking space. But bruh, you go out into the middle. Look, you say you in Iowa, Bolton. You got nothing but fucking land. Start putting them shits across places. Oh, just like so many fucking different things that you can do, but it's just like, no. When we tell you this, what does MAGA like to say? What do people that are against green energy say? No, that's a terrible idea. It's going to cost too much. Bro, you already got the space. You got the infrastructure. All you do is building fucking solar panels and gaining energy. You ain't making shit out of gas. It's just like it makes sense. It's just like it costs more. There you go, Bolton. You yourself is saying 100 miles by 100 miles. That's a lot of space. But if you go into a fucking middle of this fucking country in the Midwest and you see all this fucking farmland, and you mean to tell me that if we decided to just take a block and just make it the fucking solar state and just make it all fucking solar panels, you are saying that basically we'll be able to supply the whole fucking country. But why is that? That's bad, right? Because then that means you're not buying oil, right? That means that you don't need to use gas to actually heat up your home, meaning those gas companies ain't making that money, meaning that gasoline or that fucking gas station ain't making that money. Why? Because you ain't traveling as much. Why you think it was such a good idea to make it that EVs was going to be the thing, and then Donald Trump said, nah, we don't want EV cars? Because then that means it's bad for gas companies. Because imagine, we can have EV cars. Shit, China's doing a good job of it. We were doing it here where everybody was supposed to be EVs by 2035. What did Donald Trump say? Nah, fuck all that. He was like, nah, that's a lot of oil money we lose. If everybody's electric, who's going to buy gas? If everybody's electric, who's going to buy gas? Fuck you need a gas station for? Maybe to go get your coffee in the morning, a little fucking snack or some shit. Ain't nobody gonna buy gas. So you mean to tell me all these oil tycoons and all these oil giants is just gonna be like, you know what? We're okay with not making any money, and we're gonna make sure everybody has the ability. Fuck no. How they gonna make money if you ain't spending it? They ain't gonna make no money if you ain't spending. If you ain't spending the money to go fucking purchase some shit, they're gonna be like, nah, bro, not my issue, not my problem. That's your problem. Your problem. But Solar and fucking wind and turbine shit, that shit is the worst. It is the worst of the worst. It causes all these ailments, all this stuff. But when we do drilling, perfectly fine. Doesn't it doesn't mess up the ecosystem in the sea that we're in, or in the place we're at. It doesn't mess up the ecosystem. No, of course not. We're not putting oil into fucking the fucking marine life. Of course fucking not. Everything we buy is a petroleum based product, but those are byproducts of when the petroleum is made. So oil companies use the oil, but the byproduct and the waste is what's then shipped to make plastic products and stuff like that. So it's the byproduct that is used. So basically, they use the money to make the gasoline that we have. Then the byproduct of that being made is used to then be sent and used other products and put into other things to create other things. Like I said, it's a byproduct. It's a byproduct. And off of those byproducts is what they make those other things. Like I just said. So now those things being made are creating other things, which is a lot more expensive than the fucking wind blowing. So now you are also paying for that waste product of kerosene to become gasoline, and then the waste product of whatever's left off of that gasoline to become something else. You're also paying for that. You're not paying for the sun. You're not paying for the wind. So those are all things that people don't take into account. The wind, you've never charged the wind. Unless you've been standing by and fanning somebody, ain't nobody charging you for wind or the breeze. Ain't nobody charging you because it's fucking 100 something plus degrees outside. Ain't nobody charging you for that. The sun ain't say, hey, bro, pay up. You imagine the sun told you to pay up every time he gave you some energy? Imagine all the plants and all that shit. Imagine charging a solar fee because my fucking plants grew because of the sun. How that sound? How that sound? I'm going to charge you. See these tomatoes I got growing out back? I need to put a fucking solar fee on that shit. So whatever it is you paying for my tomatoes, you going to get a solar fee on top. Because I have to charge the sun for the fucking, like, he said they had fees on Mars and Total Recall. I was just like, don't give them any ideas. Damn, y'all got quick on that. he said it's mad wild. Bro. But you eating my tomatoes. I grew these with my son. This is my son we using. I need to charge y'all a fucking solar fee. Fuck, y'all thought this was? Y'all thought this was free? I gotta make money too, don't I? I don't gotta make money. He said the fuck. He said the fuck. Bro, I'm gonna need a maintenance fee. And it was just like, look, guess I live in darkness. No. If it's cloudy, I give y'all a discount. How about that? If it's cloudy. If I go a week with rain and it's just cloudy, y'all get a discount. No, that shit don't work for you. Y'all don't think that's a good idea? Bro, I'm about to make money. I'm about to start making money right now. I don't think that's a great idea. Bro, I'm a conservative. I'm a, what was it that I like to call myself? I am a liberal, conservative, independent. That's what I am. Now, if it's sunny, bro, if the weather go triple digits, we got surge pricing on my tomatoes. He said Cruz has been converted. Yo, yo, I'll say this. If I was a person that wanted to be evil, I would be the wrong person to fuck with. Because if I could think of all this shit to fix people, imagine. That's all I'll say. But look at that. Look at that thought process of just telling people I'm going to give them a new fucking sun tax. That's going to be my new fucking thing. I'm charging y'all a fucking solar fee. I was like, you go to the beach, you use a fucking thing, you use a fucking umbrella, that's a fee. Can't be blocking my sun. I need my sun to be fucking making sure I hit everywhere. You trying to block the sun and you trying to block the ability to it take it? Nah, gotta take that shit. We can't have that. None of that. You ain't stepping outside, bruh. What you need to be outside for? They already have rental umbrellas. Now imagine they charging you for the fucking umbrella and for blocking the sun. Yo, you see how crazy that shit would be though? Yo, I think that might be the last straw for MAGA, I think. I think that's what MAGA's just like, all right, we had enough of this shit. This has gone too far. You want to charge me for the sun? Oh, the fuck out of here. Vitamin D. Yo, you are un-American if you don't stand in the sun and pay for it. That's what I'm saying. If you stay at home all day, that's unpatriotic. You got to be outside. You got to pay this tax. You got to contribute to being an American by letting the sun give you vitamin D, give you health, and let you move forward with your day. That's unpatriotic for you. How dare you not want the fucking sun? Like, how long? Some of y'all, I tell you, some of y'all Americans is just fucking ungrateful. I can't believe y'all. Y'all special kind of, I swear, man. Some of y'all ungrateful. Not wanting to pay for the sun. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Yo, Jay, how you calculated that, bro? My man said 45, 47 per month plus fees. That's the fees is depending on how much sun we get and how hot it gets, or if it's raining. That's where the discount comes. So the fees are fucking flexible. Yo, fucking. Oh, you got tiers. Tier 1 sun, bro. If it's 90 degrees plus, that's tier 2. If you ain't pay for that shit, you gotta stay your ass inside. You ain't coming outside today. If you only pay for that tier 1 sun, you can stay. You can only, if it's 85 degrees or below, you can be outside. If it goes past that, we gotta surcharge you. If you on the beach and it's hot, oh, that's double surge pricing right there. Fees may vary. Fucking in the fine print, fees may vary. Applicable taxes in different states. Now we don't do that whole payment up front type shit. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Nah. It's a monthly fee. Plus taxes. Plus state taxes. Plus federal taxes. Shit, I was going to say some Medicaid and Medicare, but we're getting rid of that, so you don't got to worry about that for the son. But your Social Security tax for your son, it's going to be on there too. Sunblock, nah, we outlawing that shit. You ain't got none of that small. Sunblock, that's dangerous. Sunblock, dangerous. Can't have none of that shit. Ain't no sunblock here. I was like, we got to charge you for that too. Why are you going to block the sun? I was like, I'm charging you to make sure you get the sun, and now you just want to block it outright. That's a different fee right there. That's a waste of resources, man. Sunblock? The fuck? I was like, why when you can pay for this good ass sun? You don't even got to worry about turning the shit on. Like, what service you pay for that you don't even got to do shit for? Only $45.47 a month. And applicable fees. That's daily. All of a sudden you want to get rid of it. Solar eclipse insurance? We got to look into that. I haven't thought that far. You know what I'll do? I'll put it into your contracts that if there is a solar eclipse, you get a 1 day deduction for your month. So you might just pay $42.47. You get a $3 discount for eclipses. Tanning salons, nah, we taking them shits out too. You tanning in the sun. You paying for this shit. That's that tier 2 money right there. You want a tan? Tier 2 money. Solar eclipse insurance, $200. Fuck that. You want, ain't no tanning beds. I got the sun, bro. You paying. Give me my money. You want a tan? Give me my money. You want to be on the beach? Give me my money. You want the water to glisten off of you with the sun? That's some tier 3 shit there. That's the exclusive package. That's the high roller one. That one's gonna cost you. Moonlight fee, nah, the moon is free. The moon is free. I ain't charging off for that. That's free. That's free right there. Cause that one don't even light up the whole time. So you get that for free. The moonlight will be for free. Moonlight, I'll give y'all for free. I can't charge y'all for that. This is you can imagine. This will tell how old y'all are. Yo, after 7 o'clock is free. That's how I know how old y'all are, if y'all get what I'm saying. After 7 o'clock is free. That's how I know your age right there. That's how I know your age. If I tell you after 7 o'clock, sun is free. After 7 o'clock, though. Only after 7. Before 7, charged. After 7, free. Free talk time, exactly. Unlimited sun after 9. You get unlimited sun. You ain't got shit to worry about. Your shit is free to go. EVs don't work. Yeah, I know EVs don't work. Well, EVs need to be worked on, at least in the States. Other countries have better working EVs, but you're going to pay for that too. You imagine extra solar reflected rays. He said daylight savings got a whole new meaning. Bro. You get a discounted hour. You know what the fuck that is? Yearly, the savings, a discounted hour? Bruh. Yo, that'd be wild. Discounted fucking savings for daylight savings. It's like, yeah, you really saving something now. Fuck the hour. You saving money. He said we ought to something. I'm telling you. You get discounts if it's cloudy. So I'm going to be looking at the weather forecast. If that shit is straight sun the whole fucking month, you going to be paying money. If you got cloudy days, I'll deduct the cloudy days. Sun after 7 o'clock, free. After 9 o'clock, unlimited. How about that? From 7 to 8, y'all going to pay a fee depending on how much sun y'all get. No. It's free. So I'll let it free. But it's a cap. So literally from 7 to 9, you could only get like an hour and a half worth of sun while you getting it. Then after that, there's charges. Those last 30 minutes, if you want that extra 30 minutes, is you got charges. But if you start at 9 o'clock, it's unlimited. So basically, you better hope you in a place that has a lot of sun. Cruises next. Don't play with me, man. I'd be a billionaire instantly. Navy guy, why are you trying to mess up my hustle, man? You always got to have somebody, man. Navy over here trying to mess up my hustle. Why you got to tell these people this information? They don't got to know this shit, man. They don't need to know that's what the daylight savings is going to do. That's just going to make me more money. See, he done fucked up my whole plan. Somebody get rid of this guy. They'd be like, Navy done fucked up my whole business venture trying to do this shit. No, it's because I know people are ignorant. There's a difference, Navy guys. Some dumbasses would believe that shit. It was just like, and true. Nobody reads the terms and conditions anyway. When I say I'm going to charge you for that, son, you better read the fucking fine print. Better read that fine print. Because you paying for this sun. Let you try to install solar. Shit. Let you try to install solar. See what the hell's gonna happen. You see what the fucking application fee or the fucking transaction fee is that in the fucking fine print. Now we ain't charging for water. Wait till you read the fine print. Nah, hell no tanning beds. You going outside, bro, and you paying me. He said I ain't charging for the rain. The rain actually gives you discounts. When it rains, you get a discounted price. Rain is discounted price. After 9, unlimited fucking sun. You get unlimited sun. You don't get no charges for that. But see, that's a look at how we just came up with this concept, and fucking MAGA would probably be like, you know, that doesn't sound bad. Somebody be like, that doesn't sound bad. That doesn't sound like a bad idea for me to pay into. What's the benefit for me? You're being an American patriot. And that just laughs because it's the fucking truth. It's the fucking truth. I can propose this shit right now. Put me in a suit. Put me in front of fucking Congress and let me explain this shit how I was explaining it to y'all, and then tell y'all it's the fucking American thing to do. It's gonna bring jobs to fucking America. It's gonna bring fucking inventory and revenue outside of what we normally get. It is going to budget and balance our deficit. Why wouldn't you vote for that? Sunshine State. Fucking Kansas is the fucking sunflower state. They cooked. I'm getting extra cash. Oh, you want to take the name? My man Small said, you want to take the name? Our name? Nah, Sunshine, Sunflower. Y'all gonna get some trademarking for this. That shit belong to me. Y'all paying for this shit. Y'all don't worry about it. I'm coming for my checks. Big Oil gonna be like, bro, where the fuck you been all this time? We could have been doing this for decades. That's what Big Oil listen to me is like, bro, how you... Big Oil will come up to me and fucking message me on fucking DM me and shit, be like, bro, we heard your idea. We got a few pointers for you. And if you accept these pointers, we'll invest into lobbying for you in Congress so you can push this legislation through. Quick. They'd be like, as long as we can make some money, you'll make some money. And we're all patriots. We're all patriots, y'all. Pay the damn sun tax. Stop asking so many fucking questions. All these questions for all this shit. Just pay the fucking tax. It's for your safety. It's to make sure you're doing good. That's why we're doing this. They're just like, anybody that's against us is just fucking unpatriotic. That's the easy answer to it. There's no way around that. You're just unpatriotic. You don't want to pay for the sun, bro. I provide this shit. Like, bro, that shit is there. How you think your shit grow? Me. Like, why y'all making this so difficult? I was like, y'all can actually use this. Y'all can use the sun. It grows plants. It gives you energy. If you use the magnifying glass, you can actually start a fire. If these people are for losing fucking health coverage, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be paying for a resource that they use. People will believe this shit. We just literally had this past half hour, we just made an interaction of making fucking people pay for the fucking sun. The big, beautiful sun bill. Small, trademark that. I'm going to come back for you and be like, look, he came up with this shit. Bruh. These people are paying for fucking Trump phones, Trump socks, Trump trading cards, Trump Bibles. And you mean to think that if fucking Donald Trump didn't say they should be paying for the son that they wouldn't? Come on now. These people believe anything that fucking happens. If you tell them it's unpatriotic, they fucking believe it. I was like, oh my God, Donald Trump just called me an unpatriot. I have to go buy a phone. Can't even afford their fucking housing and shit, but they'll be quick to be doing that shit. And that's how that's how simple it is to deal with these people, that they'll believe it. If these people that just came into that conversation, they'll be like, damn, that shit actually sound like a good fucking, you know what? I'm gonna try this shit. So thank you for the attention to this matter. It's just that's the thing. That's the like I said, mental gymnastics with America. If you can come up with something like that and make it legible enough to make a plan for it, and you got enough people to back it, people want to listen to it. People think it's a good idea. Like, look, y'all were just fucking around with me with it, but look at what we just came up with. This is probably how these Congress people come up with. And the thing is what I'm starting to think is, like, you go to Congress. What's that? Trust me, Bolton, I've been doing this for a lot of months. This is the first time you hear. I've been talking to MAGA since before the election. And people have been that naive, that ignorant, and that stupid to the findings that are actually possible. Fuck, Hero, you just shot down my whole fucking idea with that. I can't do it no more. Now I can't charge for the sun. I am considered a fucking socialist because I am providing you with a natural resource and charging you for it. That's it. That's it. He just threw my whole plan out the window by calling it a socialist program. That's it. I just lost all of MAGA. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Say something is socialist and MAGA will just run on it and be like, oh my God, he's Chinese. Or some stupid shit. Just like, that's all you got to say for them. If you say something is fucking communist and socialist, that's it. Your whole fucking thought process, I could have thought about this for fucking months, came out with a whole fucking plan for it, and boom, there it goes out the window. That's it. That shit just went out the window. Nah, it wasn't made in America. They'll ask the Sun for its papers. Put it like that. The Sun would be asked to verify its fucking identity. Like, bro, how'd you get here? When did you get here? Do you know anybody that came with you? Did you come with anybody else? That moon thing over there, they with you? You know them? They associated with you? Do you know if they're legal? Did they come into this country okay? No? Okay. That's what I thought. Where's your interstellar passport, bruh? Yeah, that moon thing over there. You know that dude? Is it a dude? I don't know. I don't want to clarify what their identity is. So that moon thing over there, do you know it? Does it have proper documentation? Do you know if it's legal? Do you know if it does any illegal acts? Does it decide to hide, show itself, and then hide again? Because that's illegal, because it should be showing itself the whole time. It should be identifying itself the whole fucking time. So the fact that it's going back and forth, we don't like that around here. Well, we can't have none of that. We need that shit constantly. Like the sun, we know it's there. We don't know where it came from, who it belongs to. It don't want to show ID, but we can't get too close to it because it gets hot. It's not. See, the thing is this is the thing with people thinking that it's a MAGA thing for deporting. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama all deported people. The difference is that they made sure they got due process while doing it. The other thing was that they ended up being sent to the country where they came from. That's the biggest issue that Democrats have. It's not about deportations. Democrats want people deported too, but they want it done in the proper manner. If you came from fucking El Salvador, your ass gets shipped back to El Salvador. Not you came from El Salvador and we sending you to fucking a whole different continent on the other side of the fucking planet and dropping you off in South Sudan. Like, how does that fucking make sense? I'm gonna fucking deport you to a country that ain't even in your same fucking hemisphere, and I'm gonna drop you off there with no money, no resources, or nothing and tell you good luck, even though we know where you came from. So that's the difference. Cause the thing is yeah, complain about when Obama was deporting people, but then now that that Trump is doing it is not the same thing. No, the problem is that they're being deported without due process. People are getting snatched up and put onto planes and sent to places that they ain't even from. Y'all don't have a problem with that because look at your picture. You're not going to be stopped. Nah, that's what white people say. I'm sorry. White people say that the process has been the same from whatever. Last I checked, during Trump Jr., Bush Jr., Clinton, Obama, Biden, Trump, not one of these ICE fucking departments was wearing masks. So please tell me how it's all the same. Yet for the past decade and a half, none of these agencies were covering their faces and just snatching people off the street. So please tell me how it's the same thing. Please tell me how it's you don't have uniform. Most of these people don't have actual identification. Most of these people don't have the same uniform. Most of these people cannot identify themselves when they're being told to identify themselves. Most of them don't actually have badges. They just have vests that say police, or it says FBI, or it says ICE, and none of them in the same fucking car got the same uniform. How the fuck y'all all work for the same place but can't dress the fucking same? And you want to tell me that it's the same thing? Same process, right? Same process. That we got people looking like hoodlums, because that's what you would define them as, right? Hoodlums just came up to somebody and mugged them. Most of those people are not ICE agents. Most of those people are people that are getting paid to work for ICE. Most of those ain't deputized agents. That's why they're covering their faces. That's why they don't have badges. You notice that when you go to certain ICE raids, when you see them on video, that the ones that are actually ICE show their face. The ones you can actually see their face and identify are actual ICE agents. But then everybody else is not an ICE agent. That's why they're covering their face. Because then it would be a wrongful arrest. You can use that in court as defense. You got arrested by somebody that didn't have the authority to arrest me. If you can't identify who's making the arrest, you can't tell if he's deputized or not, can you? Shit, even when you see undercover cops arrest people, they at least flash their actual badge and show it to you. Thank you, Annette. You have yourself a great Sunday. That doesn't make sense. It was just like, cops have been around since when? And cops don't cover their faces. Cops stop gang members. Cops stop cartels. Cops stop people. You don't see them protecting their faces. See, now that's the ignorance. You just want to be ignorant. My man said When SWAT does a raid, look at what you just said. When SWAT does a raid, what does it usually mean? It means that they're going into a location where they know there's people that are armed, dangerous. They have an actual warrant to break in and search the area. Yes, they cover their faces, correct, for protective reasons. Same way some of them wear masks, they have Kevlars, they have the thing for protection. These ICE agents are going to fucking workplaces. Where's the terrorist? Where's the thing? ICE is doing it at fucking schools. You need fucking military fucking grade gear to wait for fucking people outside of a school, outside of a fucking court office, outside of their fucking job. Like, how ignorant do you gotta be? These are the people that were supposedly being rounded up because they were the worst of the worst. They were the biggest terror. These people were invading and flooding our country with fentanyl, and they were doing all this and they were doing all that. Yet you can't fucking find any MS-13 or fucking Tres de Aguas to fucking announce that you've been capturing them, but you can show me everybody that you caught at a workplace, everybody that's at a fucking court appearance or a fucking court place. You've been able to find all of those, but you haven't been. And you notice how none of those people have been arrested, right? You notice that that's what made it easy for me to identify that they weren't actual fucking deputies. Because you notice those ICE agents haven't been able to arrest any of those people because they don't have the actual authority to arrest people. Like I said, pay attention to any of these videos when you see ICE and see the ones that show their faces. Those are the ones that are actually deputized. Those are the ones that you will see an actual badge. Now, when you see all these other ones that don't have a badge, all they have is a fucking Temu fucking Kevlar vest, and they're rocking and they ain't even carrying, that says enough. And you have some of them that are carrying what looks like AR-15s that are customized, meaning that they're not military issued. So these are weapons that these people have on their own that are using to conduct these arrests. So that makes it even easier for you to identify that these people are not police officers or are not part of fucking border control, because they would be issued the weapons for them to use to do that. You ain't gonna have people with fucking 30-round magazine fucking ARs. You didn't notice that? Those are the things you got to observe. Those are the small things and the small details that people don't pay attention to. You look at the sites. A fucking people in the thing don't have that. They have the same uniform. They have the same weapon if they're going to have it. They're all going to have the same pistol. Why? Because Customs and Border Patrols issues their own weapons. They have an armory. So these people are not going through the actual things to get it. I don't think it's January 6th, folks. A lot of them are correctional officers from those states, which is a bigger reason as to why they would want to cover their face. Because the thing is if they go back to their correctional place and you got actual convicts and actual criminals and actual dangerous people and you working with them and they recognize that you doing this shit, different story now, huh? You got a $50 billion increase in the budget for them, and that's to provide more vehicles, more shit. Yet you're not grabbing the people that are actually causing problems. Because the thing is the other thing about this whole ICE thing is just like, so you're using border enforcement, right, for this invasion. What about these invasions of anti-American white people? What about the Proud Boys? They're not for what America stands for. Or those people that were marching in North Carolina, they're not here for what the government stands for. Don't say Democrats, because all those people I just mentioned voted Republican. It's easy to say Democrats, but the Proud Boys ain't Democrats. Those people that were marching with the upside down flag and the fucking flag that isn't even the American flag, that's anti-American as shit. But MAGA has no problem with it. Republicans have no problem with that. They got a problem with somebody burning the flag, but they don't got a problem with somebody rocking a flag that isn't the American flag. Make that make sense. If you have a problem with the American flag being burned in the United States, you should have a problem with supposedly another American not rocking the American flag. The same way I have a problem with the Confederate flag. The same way I have a problem with that flag that they were flying. I'm an American fucking veteran. I represent and represented the United States of America. The Star Spangled Banner, our actual flag with the 50 fucking stars and the red and white and the blue. But if you don't have a problem with people rocking another flag or the Confederate flag, that's kind of hypocritical. Because you mad at somebody burning the flag, but you got no problem with people running the fucking Confederate flag. You got a problem with the fucking LGBTQ plus community flag. Bolton, now your racism is starting to show. Because if the Confederate flag is just for the 13 colonies, yet we got 50 states, what the fuck are you rocking a flag that don't even represent us for? Let's hope. Last I checked, we went to war with the Confederacy because they wanted to destroy the United States, right? So the original 13 colonies weren't the ones that were at war. So don't give me this whole, it's a fucking the first 13 colonies and that shit. So that's bullshit. So you just coming out your ass and just come up with whatever fallacy will make it sound good in your head that the Confederate flag was the 13 colonies, yet they had a flag with the 13 circles. The 13 stars. 13 stars, right? Remember the circle, 13 stars? That was the 13 colonies. The Confederate flag was the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag went to war with the United States, the Confederacy, and they lost. I don't want to hear about Southern heritage. You lost. You were traitors. You were going against the American Constitution. Yet now you have it and you have it being represented. So now you have a flag that's being represented, but nobody has a problem with that? Let me guess. The biggest thing is just like, oh my God, let me guess. Your talking point, like most Republicans, would be like, well, that's why the Southern Democrats were the ones that implemented or did slavery, or Republicans ended slavery. Yet it's funny, you had to go all the way back to 1865 to make that clarification, saying that the Republicans ended slavery, but then you somehow forget how the Republicans in the South caused and started Jim Crow, which wasn't that long ago, and started the gerrymandering or redlining. You forget that part, right? That part is where all of a sudden Republicans forget. They forget the part where they created the Jim Crow laws. Was that the Democrats that did that? I don't think so. That's the easiest argument that they like to pull, because they like to go to 1865 because that's all they know when fucking that happened. But then when you're in the South in the Jim Crow era, in the fucking Alabama era, or the fucking Martin Luther King era, all of a sudden, what happened to the Republicans? The Republicans, what? They were for it? Who was in the fucking South? Who still has a problem with fucking African Americans and people of color? The South. Who runs the South? What states are operated by the South? Republican states. So don't try to come up with this bullshit that it was Democrats that did it when y'all been running the South the whole fucking time after y'all lost. The whole fucking time. Y'all lost the war and stayed with y'all same shit. So since y'all couldn't have slaves, y'all decided to start the Jim Crow era. The same way y'all started the fucking police force to start rounding up people that were not free and were trying to get away from being free. And what did you do? You put them in jail. Then what did you do? You put them to work. So you got free labor because they were in jail. So you didn't constitute them as slaves anymore. Now they were just prisoners. And that was all the Republicans. There is just like a history fucking lesson that people keep on fucking forgetting. You put them in jail. You started the Jim Crow era. What changed? Oh, because in 1865, the Republicans got rid of slavery, but then somehow in fucking the 1960s, they just decided to try to implement it again? Times changed, but the party has been the same since. The party's still in the South. When's the last time Alabama was fucking Democratic? When's the last time Mississippi was Democratic? When's the last time Louisiana was Democratic? Shit, look at the laws and how Louisiana does laws over there that they have people in prison working jobs. The whole South, I don't know if it was blue. Because then all of a sudden Jim Crow started. You can't tell me it was just blue. They had blue beliefs, maybe, but you can't tell me it was all blue with Jim Crow. Yeah, after the Civil Rights Act, it went all red. The same way with the Confederacy. There was the North and the South. South lost, and all of a sudden, hey, we're Northerners, but we don't like y'all. Now we in the South, and since y'all took away our ability to have slaves, because that was a big issue, we're just gonna call it jail and get cheap labor. Because if you look at these states operate and they have a lot of people incarcerated. And they pay them very little, but they do a lot of labor. Isn't that interesting? The same thing, just that you're giving them meals per day, giving them a shower, letting them out. That's about it. Still the same system. You just fucking cloaked it with something else and just said that African Americans are the most dangerous people, and you just started rounding them up for little infractions. It was like the war on drugs. What you think that was? That was another way of getting African American and minorities into jail for cheap. You got people that commit the same crime all over the country, but depending on the race or the skin tone that you have or the skin color, you get a different fucking sentence. And in certain states, sentencing was worse than in others. But you see some people do the same shit and some people get a severe punishment, some don't. All that shit happens. All that shit is visible. But the thing is when you start trying to nitpick that one thing and don't look around everything around that situation, you start looking naive and you start looking ignorant, and it makes you look even worse because you're making it seem like, oh, this was happening already. And it was just like, oh, this happened because of this. But then you don't want to even fathom or even look into the outside layers and the outside perspective of what's causing these things. And then all of a sudden it's easy to just be like, the Democrats. After this whole conversation, the Democrats, they're the problem. They're the ones causing these issues. They're the ones that people are losing out on. It's always the Democrats causing all this shit. Like, bro, how much shit can the Democrats fucking do that the Republicans have no blame in it? Like they fail to people fail to realize, like, any law that has been passed most likely has had a Democrat and a Republican signing off on it. Michelle, damn, you want to go to Michelle? Shit, that's far. Might as well just blame Cheney too. But that's the thing. It's just like you gotta look at it in that manner. It's just like, come on now, we can't we can't do this. We can't be on this naive bullshit that is just like, this is what y'all want to use and this is what y'all want to say is the reason for it. It's like, no. I was just like, the system is the system. Yes. Does it need fixing? Yes. But you cannot be naive and say that it's just one side or the other side. Both sides do it. Democrats and Republicans both do it. They both full of shit. But the thing is you can tell how full of shit these politicians are when you see when they vote. I don't give a fuck about what you say. I don't give a fuck about what they said on Fox News, on CNN and shit like that. When that bill goes for you to fucking sign, when that bill goes for fucking vote and you voted the way you fucking voted, don't tell me no shit because you voted. Yep, the Alaska representative, she knew this shit was bad, but she was like, yo, bruh, I cut out a deal for Alaska. Fuck everybody else, but we good. Vote. Knowing that it was going to be bad. And the Republicans still voted for it. Yet every Democrat voted against it. Every Republican voted against that. Or every Democrat voted against this bill, yet it was passed. Every Republican voted for this. The representatives, the senators and representatives that knew it was bad, said they weren't going to vote for it, told their constituents they weren't going to read for it, and still voted for it, is all I got to see. Because Democrats said we ain't voting for this shit, and not one of them voted for it. Multiple Republicans said we are not voting for this. We are not removing Medicaid. We are not removing Medicare. We are not lessening fucking Social Security. And then they went ahead and fucking voted for it. Oh, there was more. There was two that actually voted against it. Two Republicans actually voted against it. There was many more that were saying that they were not going to vote for it. And then they still voted for it. There was two that voted against the bill. And those are the two, I think, that decided to say that they were going to retire after this thing because they know they ain't going to fucking win. There was a bunch that were against it. Yet somehow when it came to push the shove, all your people said, hey, I need you to fucking vote no on this. And what did they do? They voted yes. So don't tell me about Republican and Democrat when all the Democrats voted no because this shit was not good. Yet all the Republicans except for two decided, yes, we're doing that. Ah, man. I love when people are just so naive. It's just like, oh, they're moving. Oh, the same illegals that were taking so much money, Bolton. Those are the people that were moving. Or they're removing people from Social Security that were gaining Social Security checks for 300 plus years or 100 plus years. Those people, those are the people that they're removing. Because that means you remove $700 million to $900 million was because of fraud, waste, and abuse. Yet when Doge went through it, they didn't find that. What are you talking about? 40-hour weeks? The only people that collect Medicaid and Medicare are people that are eligible for it that have gone through the system. You can't collect. This is the same fallacy that most people that don't want to understand and don't want to read don't understand the fact that you have to have documentation to get these benefits. No, there is not a lot of fraud because that's why they have the fucking inspector generals, the ones that got fired. They conduct investigations for this. Why is it the boss? I'm still on the YouTube. See, this is what I say. It's gonna be 32-hour work weeks and no tax on overtime. This is the people in this country that we got to deal with. I am a liberal conservative independent. That's what I am. The thing that people don't understand is not just those 17 million people that are going to lose benefits. Those are the 17 million people right now that are using it that are elderly and are children. Yes, you are wrong, Moss, because there's not going to be a 34-hour work week. They're not going to lessen the amount of time you work. You are still going to get taxed on overtime. You are only going to be able to use a tax deduction on the back end when you apply for taxes. Private insurance is going to go up as well. Why? Because they're now going to say what Medicaid would cover, they're going to have a problem covering. Fuck no, I'm not supporting Musk's new party. I'm trying to get rid of the people that are in the parties right now. I don't need a fucking third party. It's the same bullshit that happens. It's just like, oh, we're running independent. And look how well that worked. All the independents were just fake Republicans that didn't want to vote for Kamala, but didn't really want to vote for Trump, but voted for Trump anyway because they were independent. Like, come on with the bullshit. Look at fucking RFK. I'm an independent. I never run with the Republicans. I never. And now you the fucking medical director. I'm not going to say, look, I'm not going to say that Kamala was going to be a great president. I'm not going to say that because I don't know that. But with the stuff that she was saying she was trying to implement, we would have been better off. You would have actually been able to get a $25,000 house credit because that's what something she was planning to pass. She would have actually raised the taxes on the most rich and not given them a tax benefit. The same way it worked when Bill Clinton did it, the same way it worked when Obama did it. The fallacy that everybody, look, y'all Republicans and y'all MAGA need to stop being so dumb. Kamala Harris was the vice president of the United States. The vice president of the United States is the fucking get out of jail free card when something happens to the actual president. The vice president never does fucking anything. Because when George Bush Jr. was fucking president and Dick Cheney was there, the only thing Dick Cheney do was shoot somebody in the fucking face. He did absolutely fucking nothing. Yet I didn't hear Republicans say shit. When Joe Biden was the fucking vice president of Barack Obama, he didn't do shit. I didn't hear y'all say a motherfucking thing about fucking Joe Biden till he decided to run. Please tell me, oh no, thank you, Moore. Please tell me what the fuck has J.D. Vance been fucking doing? Because the ignorance is to say Joe Biden wasn't doing anything, but when he signed the fucking Infrastructure Act, which got canceled by Biden, when he helped out veterans with the actual VA fucking PACT Act, Biden didn't do anything. When he did the CHIPS Act that was going to help with the semiconductor and bring science over here, he didn't do shit either, right? The American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, all that shit was actually going to bring you more money as a regular day person in the fucking States. And what happened to all of that? All that shit was nixed by Donald Trump because he wanted to make sure to do that. I didn't even mention Mike Pence because Mike Pence was supposed to be hanging from a fucking noose that they put on January 6th. But please tell me about all Kamala. Because please tell me what Mike Pence did Trump's first time around. Please tell me and educate me on that. Oh, see, now, Brayton, now it's a shame I'm a Mets fan. Why? Because you ain't got no idea what the fuck you talking about? Now you have to switch it up. Now you have to talk sports? Damn, bruh. Whew. Looking bad, ain't you? Looking bad. Looking bad. Shit, Mike Pence was the one that said, no, bro, you lost. You know what the fuck that is? Your vice president said you lost. You seen that, Jeanette? You noticed that too, right? I was just like, because you ain't got nothing to fucking say. Like, come on now. Like, you can't be serious. Oh, you in here? Oh, come here, Toothless. Come here. Come here. Come here. The newest edition. Say what's up. Say what's up. He don't want to be on the camera right now. He said he don't he don't want to pay for any sun, so he's staying inside. Respect his wishes. I got to. Where you at? Toothless, come here. Come here. Nah, man, he gonna try to say it's a discount because it's like I don't even hit the sun don't even hit me, bro. Like I don't even feel the sun. Why would I have to pay for it? Like, what you trying to do? Where you trying to go? You see what happens when you try to you have not learned the manners of finesse yet. He's still working on the finesse part. Bro, don't rip the whole thing. Damn, bro. Run free. Start charging for cats too. Keep it up, y'all. Y'all better not make me president. Don't make me president. Don't make me fucking president. Y'all gonna have a bad fucking day. Y'all gonna have a bad fucking day. But damn, hold on. I'm about to be going for like 4 hours, bro. I gotta go, bro. It's Sunday. I got shit to do. He said, got my vote. shit. That's the VP right there. That was the VP you just saw. I'm good for what y'all got to say. That's my VP. What y'all gonna tell him? You ain't gonna tell him shit. You ain't gonna tell him shit. That's my VP. You got a problem? Deal with the clause. He said I would be a great one. I think I would be a pretty good politician because my whole thing is to take care of people. So it's something I was born and raised with, something that my mom, which is here visiting, she has ingrained that into me. You just take care of the people around you. You don't ask for anything back. It's just like, I was like, you don't have to. Do we get discounts if we have cats? We may have to look into that. You may have a pet discount. It's just basically taking care of people. That's what it is. It's just like there's multiple ways of doing it. Bro, what you doing over there? He's climbing. Can I turn this? He's doing his fucking gymnastics thing. Oh, no, I can't turn this. No. There you go. I don't know if it'll, but he's on his thing up there. But yeah, that's the VP. It's just like those are things. It's just things we're all American. If we're American born, American raised, it should be like that. He said all 13 of my outside cats, I'll take the discount for sure. Wholesale prices on this shit. But that's what it is, man. It's just like it's just simple things like that. These are things that just like there's stuff. Rest of the day tax. Oh damn. Rest of the day tax. Bruh. I consider myself a liberal, conservative, independent. That's what I'm going with. That's my hashtag going forward. I am a liberal, conservative, independent because I believe in liberal stuff. I believe in conservative stuff, and I believe in independent stuff. There shouldn't be a classification as to what you think it is unless it's helping people. I can say I want to help people, but then if I say I'm a Democrat and want to help people, they'll be like, "Oh, that's terrible." Or if you say you're Republican and you want to help people, "Oh, that's terrible." If you're fucking independent and you want to help people, that's terrible. And I was like, "No, I want to make sure everybody's good because everybody breathes the same air. Everybody drinks fucking water. Everybody don't got clean water, but that's something that everybody should have. But it's things like that that would make society better." But some people don't think that way. Some people don't want society to be better. Some people want their own society to be better or their situation to be better. But, it comes and goes that way. Can't control it, won't control it, but it's too much separation for it when everybody just wants to live their fucking life, enjoy it, have a family, be able to take care of their family. Let me get from South Texas. Everything can be made into the scam if you propose it correctly. Like I said, look, we about to have a sun tax with sun fees. Y'all saw my proposal. Sounds good. And if you don't like it, you not American. Take that for something. You don't want to pay for the sun? You unpatriotic as fuck. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sticking to it. You don't want to pay my fees for the sun? Un-American as shit. How dare you call yourself patriotic and not pay for the fucking sun? What the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all done fucking lost it. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Don't go paying for no fucking sun tax. Don't spread the word. Sun tax coming out. Just blame the Republicans for it. Just do that. See how that goes. Just be like, yo, bro, you heard about that shit? Yo, bro, there was this dude. I seen him on TikTok. He was talking about they proposing a fucking sun tax. It was like, yeah, man, the Republicans is losing it. They want to propose fucking charging people for fucking the sun and charging them for it because, all this shit. And it was just like, because it's not efficient, so the sun needs to be charged to be work better. These fucking Republicans, man. It's fucking crazy. They're fucking losing it. Because that's what I think is going to take. Watch. It's going to have to be some like outlandish shit that MAGA's just like, yo, I've had enough. This is way too far. That's what's going to cause a revolution in this country. I'm telling you, it's going to be that. They're going to eat that shit up. It's not even going to be that because they're going to eat that one up and they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for it. But the thought process is going to be, it's going to be that one thing that these people so right with fucking the New York City mayor wins. In complete fucking chaos. Fucking people concerned and being fucking bitter for a state they don't even fucking reside in or deal with. But that's shout out to that dude, man. Hopefully Soran wins. I don't see him winning. They're gonna make him lose. They're gonna find a way to make that man lose. That man is trying to do too much fucking good shit. The man is trying to make too much fucking sense. Too much sense for the American consumer, too much for the fucking regular day American. FEMA ain't gonna do shit. They just gonna blame it on the Democrats. They'll be like, well, the Democrats didn't want to fund FEMA. Correction, y'all cut the money. But look, I hope people don't. It's gonna suck, but there's gonna be a lot of loss the rest of this year. There's gonna be losses. It's gonna be tornadoes. There's gonna be hurricanes. There's gonna be bad weather. There's gonna be random weather. The weather isn't the same how it's been. You can see that the weather is changing and it's hitting areas that it usually doesn't. It's just gonna continue. But when you don't want to have the resources to pay for that to be taken care of, some people are going to fuck around and find out. And those that fuck around and found out will be the ones that wanted to fuck around and find out and wanted these things to happen because they didn't think it was going to affect them. They just thought it was just like, oh, we ain't getting it. That's not my problem. It's going to be your problem. And then when you ask for help, nobody's going to want to help. Why? Because you didn't pay your sun tax. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'll check y'all out on the I'll check y'all out on the next one, y'all. Peace. Fucking sun tax. The audacity. The audacity of some people. I'll see y'all, man. Oh man. Fucking sun tax. Imagine that. A fucking sun tax. Y'all be good, man. Appreciate y'all that tuned in. Y'all have a good one.